I did all my creation, but I am to the concepts and lores.
All of my creation.
I didn't
Right.
make one single extra click more than what I had to do to make the character sheet appear. That's how.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
And then
I spent hours on it.
I know, and I knew
Yeah.
you would, and I've
And-
been trying to talk you out of it for weeks. You just gotta
Right now, I've got most of my character details filled out, except concept and chronicle. I don't have any of my beliefs filled out or any of my coterie stuff.
Okay, just so you know, Bob, I'm going to give you extra experience for all the effort that you put into your character sheet.
Thanks.
So it'll pay off.
Thanks.
That's the kind of stuff that I like.
Good.
I know I said it
I
doesn't
can make
matter.
you happy, boss
but-
man.
But it does matter at least a little bit.
I put all my effort into understanding what I thought Kenneth would want me to do, which was just show up and let him tell me how he wants to play the game.
I also want to do that. So everyone has a chance to earn experience. That's why you play. You play for you know how this works. You play for the leveling.
Yeah.
Get power, use power.
Get power.
I wasn't even sure we were gonna be streaming, but do we want to tell our adoring fans who we are and what we're doing here?
Yeah, I'm just getting ahead of checking Twitch and YouTube because usually like halfway, like we're at 3/4 through, almost done, and then you guys are like, why does it just say Shelf Important Studio again as the title? And I can't figure out how to launch it with the correct title. So right now I'm just trying to do that.
Hey, you're doing a super great job. And actually, the real professionals, as far as I can tell, that do live streaming, they put up a live stream about to begin screen for like 5 to 10 minutes just to drum up viewers.
I've seen that, yeah.
But here at Shelf Importance,
We ban
because if you're gonna, there's no reason to waste people's time with that stuff when we could be
Preach it.
giving them directly what they came here for, which is just like unfiltered, raw, uncut, and unvaxxed. The four of us.
I am vaxxed, bro.
Straight into your earlobes.
Wait. Uncut
Anyway,
and unvaxxed, baby.
I don't know what everybody's name is today, so I'm just going to assume that I'm at the beginning. And
Are they not
say
on
that
our screen?
I
They're not.
am Count Cracula.
I am.
Is that your character name?
No, hang tight. Why is it not your character name?
Yes, it's got to be your character name.
Yeah,
This is
that's-
session 0. I
Come
didn't
on,
know I was
read
going to
the-
have to. Hang on.
Read the goddamn room.
Racism.
You're the only. You're fucking. I'm Ken the Storyteller, with Corbin Grimshaw, Bob
Hey,
Vander Hex, and fucking Count Cracula.
My name.
The best shelf of kid cereal ever.
My name is Otis Shagwell, and I do think that I'm doing this in alphabetical order.
Well, if
Didn't
O
learn my
comes first in your
letter.
alphabet,
Yeah. That's that hillbilly alphabet.
That's right.
That it is. Okay.
so
let's
I guess
see.
I'm technically first, right?
Yeah.
So I am Bob Vander Hicks from New Amsterdam.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
You're from New York?
I don't
Nice.
know.
All right.
Hey, I was there for 4 days. I thought I picked up the accent.
Cool. Oh, like recently, you went to New York City?
No, New Amsterdam.
What?
Or Amsterdam. Sorry, not New.
Okay.
Okay.
He went
Knew
to.
it.
I was
He
with
went
you. You kind of was like,
I'm a-
that's a-
No,
Hey,
he went to
remember,
really
I'm a
specific
moron.
You went to
when I
real
come to
Amsterdam.
Real Amsterdam, yes.
Man,
like a year ago.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Old
You
Amsterdam.
went to the new part of
Yes.
Amsterdam.
Okay, look. I
didn't-
like to think I'm a smart guy, but I'll always admit to this. Geography, I'm a complete fucking moron. When it
Yeah.
comes
Yeah,
to-
and why is that a family trait of
I
ours?
don't know.
Can if you are just dropped somewhere, not that this has probably happened to you, do you think you could pick out north?
Yeah. Look, I can
definitely,
find. I can find directions.
Okay.
I'm good with knowing where I'm at.
Yeah.
And remembering where places are when I'm traveling and stuff.
Yeah.
I could travel without directions for the most part.
Okay.
But it's when it's like
Looking on a map and being
Look on
like,
a
that
map.
shape looks like
Yeah, and I think I'd be
West
pretty. I think I'd be like I could not fill out an entire U.S. map accurately.
I could probably get
It wouldn't happen.
95%.
But once you get outside of the U.S., it gets embarrassing. Is all I'm saying.
Oh,
You'd be like,
yeah.
draw a line of the European border, and I'd be like, I don't know if Russia's part of Europe.
Portugal, Spain, France.
It might be
the British Isles. Once you get east, and Germany. Once you get east of that, I'm super fussy.
I could guess British Isles. I would look like this is like the little cluster where the people who talk funny are from, and little islands. I guess
look
that's
like
probably
yeah.
Those are probably the British Isles. Am I wrong? I mean, it could be Ireland.
See, just the fact that you're saying Isles plural, I'm like, wait, I thought there was just fucking one. Am I wrong? Am I now wrong? I thought it was like one. I thought it was like one island.
One called the Isles. They talk funny over there. We don't know, man.
All right. So I'm. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm Corvin Grimshaw. I don't know where I'm from yet. I haven't decided. But were you kind of introducing our character now?
Yeah, hold on. No, I thought he said we were going alphabetical, and you started with Otis. You're not alphabetical by either first or last.
That's because Otis went first.
I didn't go to school.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, he thought it's Otis.
I didn't go to school per se.
Well, in Otis's defense, we didn't have the names up, so
right.
Yeah.
Oh, what a shit show.
So yeah, Corvin Grimshaw, vampire. I just did.
All right,
suck your blood.
The music fucks up everything.
Oh, the music. I think you judging by the glint in his eye, he said something funny.
Welcome to Shelf Importance. Let's go!
Woohoo!
And scene. Here's all the legal stuff. I still don't know what we do or don't have to do here. But here's all of it.
What the hell is that? Loser has to pull down what?
Yeah, I think
what does that say?
Way better if we just spend a bunch of time talking about how fuckable this screen is in some way.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my god, you guys have, when it says Paradox Interactive, you guys ever just cream your pants? And then eventually they'll be so grossed out by it they'll remove the requirement.
I think the viewers just want to know, what are the common side effects, right?
Of the Dark Pact?
Yeah.
I don't know. Something to do.
Call your doctor if it lasts more than 4 hours.
Something to do with boners, I think.
Whatever it is.
Okay, I'm like way behind my video. Are you guys seeing this?
Your voice seems fine. Your video seems a little laggy.
Yeah, it's out of sync. Oh no.
No, it's cool. I just wanted to disconnect for a second.
There you go.
Our game, John.
Am I back?
That worked.
You back, baby.
Camera off, camera on. I might have to do it a couple times. We'll see. When you're running a heavy load like I am. For real though, I've got character sheets open. I've got relationship maps open. I've got it all. It's going to be a heavy load to run. I might have to run a second computer next time.
Woo!
I know, right? So, actual session 0, Vampire the Masquerade. Welcome. We are playing a role-playing game instead of reading a book. We're reading 100 multi-100-page books, multiple of them, just to make little fake character sheets that seem kind of fun and realistic. Have you guys enjoyed the process?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yes.
All right, so tonight we're not gonna play necessarily. We're gonna get ready to play yet again. We've been getting ready for a couple months. It's expected for a game of this caliber, and also we've been super busy, and
also we are, I think, the largest Vampire the Masquerade.
I know of one other.
No, I got a couple more clarifiers. In the Midwest, that has
there you go
4 white dudes.
I bet in the Midwest is probably good. The one I know of is the West Coast.
We have the highest percentage of small penises among
all VTM players.
All VTM players.
Actually, the other one I know of, never mind, I'm not going to say anything. It might get me some dicey territory. So let's forget about that.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
All right. So If you've never participated in a session 0 or seen one or have any idea what it is, here's what it is. We have characters. I'm the storyteller. I'm setting things up. I play everybody except you three. Okay. I set the scene. I play the roles. I do the voices. I sometimes roll dice. If I don't like the dice rolls, I lie about them. These are things that happen. Okay.
And I will thank you for that service, because sometimes, having done some game mastering myself, sometimes the dice you roll the dice and you're just like, well, that's not going to be very good for the story.
That's not fun. Yeah, I know, right?
Pretty sure that's a plus 12 on that. Anyway, go ahead.
No, it happened very recently to me, actually, in my kids' D&D game. They're like, I introduced this first like big conflict, right? And where they have to meet this one like antagonist, and our tank ran out there and smoked her in the chest with a battle axe for critical damage, and I had to like, oh, she blocks it. I'm like, she's dead, dude.
Right,
you killed her. That was nasty. He like turned on everything, and then he like critical hit her. And,
man, what you do in that situation is you use that as the
she magicked out of there, dude, and then she turned into a werewolf.
No, you forget about the hit points, and you're just like, wow. I mean, that was a ton of damage, and you think you're going to be in for a hell of a fight because she barely looks scratched, and then you just ignore the hit completely and just start the fight. Right.
Whole point is you gotta lie, because that game would have been over, and I'd be like, you're the new headmaster of the school. Congratulations.
Exactly.
So headmasters and prefects of the vampire world. In the session 0,
did we just get promoted to prefect?
Yeah, you guys have arrived tonight with characters that still need a little bit of fleshing out, and you also need to hear some story from Moa, some things that are going to affect your characters greatly.
Should we take notes, or me take notes?
We're going to be taking notes throughout the game all the time. Okay, so here's what you're going to want in your character sheet here in Demiplane, which is what we're using.
So should I leave my character creation sheet right now and just go to my character sheet?
Are you able to bounce back and forth as you need to?
Can I? Let's see.
It'll be fine.
Okay. I'd probably, yeah. I can get back to. I know how to get to it. I know how to navigate around.
Okay, good. Okay, so in your character sheet, you have a notes section. You're going to want to keep notes there.
Oh, there. Okay.
Yeah, you're also going to want to keep notes sometimes over in our Discord. Okay, you're also going to want to keep notes on our relationship map. Just depends on the nature of the note and what you want to remember and what you need everyone to remember, or just you. You can message each other privately. You can message me privately. You can message the group. Okay, so keep in mind what you want people to know and when and why.
You can send me a message of your privates.
Yeah, send everyone a message of your privates. You can forward a message of my privates to your friends in private.
But
you can take two phones, each with a different picture of our privates, and touch them together.
we do frown on BCCs though, so don't do that. That's just not cool.
I need to know who has my privates.
No big Caucasian cocks, only the little ones. As we established,
LCCs.
We're the highest BCC.
Can we podcast. Be the LCC cast? Welcome to the Little Caucasian Cast. Okay. So here we are. We got to get rolling. We're at 8:40 already, which is young. The night is young in the world of role-playing games.
Yeah,
hey,
the sun.
Listen, vampires wake right about now.
It's right, exactly. The time has come.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some of these on the weekend. I can tell sometimes.
Fuck yeah.
Or else we get like a scene and have to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Welcome to First Blood. This is our chronicle. So if you need to note this, you ask about chronicle, right? Yeah. That's it. That's the name of the chronicle. That's the chronicle that we're in. First Blood. That's First Blood. That's the title.
How much overlap is there between this and the first movie in the Rambo series, which is also titled First Blood?
I don't think much. Bloodshed. There's a bloodshed overlap.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
It is now my goal. I want you to know it's not my goal to find explosive arrows. I need to make that happen.
You want to find explosive arrows?
Yeah, it's the whole. That's what Rambo uses.
Hey man, I'll give you a little spoilies for you guys, and if anybody watching wants to come back, you'll have that opportunity probably in our first session to find some of those.
So based on the name of our chronicle, this is how we all reach womanhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, reaching womanhood and becoming a vampire are very similar.
I mean, okay, when any of you were creating your characters, because we don't know what everybody chose yet, did anybody think about picking a different gender or race for your character?
Of course not.
Just asking, because the instruction said your character is not you. So I didn't know if anybody was. I did not feel.
You know what? I've never done that in an RPG in a tabletop role playing game, and I always do it in video games.
For sure on video games.
Yeah,
I always play a woman in RPG video games. Yeah, and then well, I guess I'm not in Oblivion, so I want to say like probably 80-90% of the time I do.
Both of my Call of Duty characters are bitches.
Yeah,
and that's okay. Canceled. Officially.
I mean, so is that why is that?
Well,
I don't
know. Maybe it's something where like if I've got to be looking at a character's ass all the time, I'd rather be the
I'd be honest. That was the joke I was gonna make was, oh, you just want to look at their ass the whole game.
Yeah, maybe they're getting better and better. Okay. I don't know. It feels more like I'm playing a character than myself in some respects, right? Okay. But and actually in first person shooters, and some people say this is a myth, but they're harder to hit because they have the same hitbox, but they have a smaller visible window than most male characters.
Okay. Oh, if you're like doing a Call of Duty or something like that.
Yeah, if you're playing let's say you're playing Fortnite, right? And you've got that one of those big huge guys.
Yeah.
It's easier for your opponent to see, even if they have a smaller the same size hitbox, right? Than if you have the smallest woman character.
Yeah. I mean, so
but I don't want to tabletop role play a woman because then I have to be stereotypical the whole time as a white guy.
Right. So that's what I was a little. I didn't want to lean on any kind of subliminal or is that right? The right word? Some kind of stereotype.
Yeah, and it is really interesting that they encourage you, or that they say, feel free to do this within the core rule book, but you would never want to do it like as an actor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that that's true.
I mean, anymore. I mean, you're like if you look at a deaf character, you want like a deaf actor, like they're trying to spot on, or else everybody rages about it.
Were any
like
of you
everything down to the nitty gritty?
Were any of you into the Arrowverse? Did you like any of those shows?
My kid is big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I used to watch all of them. And when Batwoman came on, I watched the Batwoman show, and apparently people were really upset that Batwoman is a lesbian in the comic books, okay? But it was not good enough that the character the actual actress they chose to play her was not a lesbian. She was bisexual. That wasn't good enough. Why couldn't you cast a lesbian?
Sounded pretty anti-woke here. No, I agree though. It's some wonky shit, right?
Well, but to your point of like, I wouldn't, if I were acting, I wouldn't play this person. Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't.
I think there's room for both sides of that because, I mean, what was her name? Like Ruby Rose thing was pretty extreme. I would say. I don't know. Yeah. We're living in post-woke America here.
Listen, it all could have been a few people online that made us think about it, and then it got picked up in a news story because someone read Reddit or something. I don't know,
But I think there's a pretty huge difference between like, hey, you cast Johnny Depp as an Asian character and gave him a stereotypically Asian accent, and that's not super cool. Yeah. And being like, hey, I made a female character in this, or like if one of us had, I don't think it would have been weird if we're just like making a character and inhabiting it, unless we make it weird,
Yeah. Well, like I'm listening to Glass Cannon, One of the guys is playing a little old lady.
Matthew,
Yeah. What do they call her?
Miss Lady.
Mrs. O'Lady. Yeah. She's Irish.
That's her name in the show.
Mrs. O'Lady.
Mrs. O'Lady.
Yeah. So like I'd be comfortable doing something silly like that, but I wouldn't be doing a voice for anything. So I was just like, I'm just gonna be.
Yeah.
So
Now-
my
You know
guy
what
is
I'm
a.
missing? You know what I'm missing that I used to have were like
What?
the sound effects, so I could air horn you guys the fuck back to where we're at.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh,
Okay.
hey, what was
No.
that?
So this
We
is
don't need to
first
we don't need to
blood.
be virtue signaling our show at this.
This is
juncture.
first blood.
I couldn't control it. Okay,
All right.
so you're on your character sheets, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Does any? Okay, so let me walk you through just these first couple things without like showing the screen of what you're doing, and then I'm gonna have you guys screen share and kind of talk about your characters. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Chronicle is First Blood. Everybody good?
Yes.
Generation 13.
Did it.
Does everybody know what that means? That means that's how
We are
many
neonate.
generations you are removed from the mythical,
Kane.
The
the original
Right,
vampire.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
yes.
The
I
blood gets
understand
the
that.
blood gets weaker as you get farther from
And
the
that's where you
father
get
involved
thin
in
bloods
nation.
from, right?
Yeah, the thin bloods are going to be further down than you are.
Right.
If you sired a child, they would likely be a thin blood.
Because that starts at 15. Is
Is-
that correct?
I think 14.
Does
Okay.
anyone play at a higher generation? Meaning, like, does anybody play a 5th generation campaign?
Oh yeah, well we used to play Dark Ages Vampire, which puts you a lot closer to those peeps, and we'd play 7th and 6th sometimes.
Ooh, cool. Okay.
But when you're doing that, when you're playing like 7th,
you-
then your antagonists are 5th generation, and the power
wait.
difference is gross.
Now, hang on a second. Are you being serious that we are only 13 generations removed from the children of Adam and Eve?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're only
13.
6,000
Well, not your
years
not
in,
your
bro.
Vampire
not your
generations.
human body. Your
How
vampire
many
generation.
human generations are there between us and Adam and Eve?
Yes, Ken.
I
That's
don't
what we're here
think
to discuss.
That's
What is the sort of
what
what
are
is
you
this?
Okay.
What is
okay.
this universe attitude towards young Earth creationism?
Right,
that you
and
just
flat
went
Earth.
over
Yeah.
telling?
I'm a flat Earth vampire.
Yeah.
nice. So we're in text box 4 of all these so far.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's worse than that. I actually
All right.
super don't know where we're finding and
Cool.
selecting.
Yeah, we're
these.
gonna skip. We're gonna.
items.
You don't know where to find this? Okay, you're gonna go to your character sheet. You're gonna click concepts and lore.
Yep. Got it. Love
We
it.
are in the beautiful
here.
demiplane. Okay, so concept. We'll go first chronicle generation. Now we're gonna go to true age, apparent age,
Okay.
date of
Oh,
birth,
shit,
and date
I'm
of death.
behind.
Okay,
Dope.
Yep.
you're
No.
behind.
Let's do it.
I'm on my character sheet. What am I doing?
You're gonna
Concepts
scroll
and
down a
lore.
little bit, and you're gonna click concept and lore.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I just had to scroll down. Okay. Concept.
Skip
There it is.
concept. I'm
Okay,
gonna give you everything that's the same for all, or that you can all answer without very much difficulty right now. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Chronicle, First Blood. That's just the name of our entire story. Okay.
First Blood. Generation 13.
Generation
right?
13. Yes. Okay. We need
But
your
we
date
don't-
of birth.
We don't have anything for concept yet, right?
Correct. I
Okay.
need your date of birth, your date of death, your true
Okay.
age, and your apparent age.
Is
So
it is the year close enough?
I just put in the year.
year's fine. Yeah.
Great.
So year you're born, year that you died, which is the year you were embraced. That means became a vampire, right? Your actual age, which is the year you were born, subtracted from 2025.
Present.
And
day.
your apparent age is the age you appear to be. Remember, you embrace you look younger and stronger, maybe a little slimmer.
Date
Oh,
of
so you're not just frozen in time. It does actually euthanize you.
You get euthanized, yes, whenever you're whenever you're
so
embraced.
date of death is embrace date.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
your first.
Are
death
we
date.
telling you this right now?
Yeah, and write it. You're going to talk about it too. So I mean, if you just want to
Okay.
write it in, just like let me know when you're ready to move on.
I've already
Yeah.
filled mine in.
We'll rip roar through this part.
Appearance ago.
Okay. If you want to, I will need all this stuff filled out. Okay, but any of this that you want to fill out either while we're talking, or now, or whatever, or later, You can. Appearance is going to be what you look like. All right. You might come up with that on the fly. You might go into Chat GPT and say, I'm a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition Bruja of this age. Can you give me some appearance and distinguishing features? Or if you want to come up with that on your own, do it. But when you present your character, be ready to come up with that.
Good idea.
Go back up to concept. Your character concept, you were already dipping into it a little bit, Yukon, when you were telling me about yours. This is like, what did you do in life? What's like the idea behind your character? And like, what are you into now? Brief overview. A lot of this stuff is going to be determined in the character map and like your convictions and things like that. But just in general, you said you're going to be like a landlord, all right? So like, that's your character concept. So you can flesh that out a little bit.
Well, I did a little bit of that in my history, so
it's also fine. Just as long as you can talk about it here in a moment, whenever it comes to your turn.
So character concept is kind of your background of your human life.
Is your what?
The background of your human life.
Yeah. Like what's the human that your character's based on, right? And then you can do a little bit of like if it affects who you are now. Okay. Click into one of your character sheets here.
Dude, this it's pretty cool to have this language model on my computer.
Are you asking to give you some shit?
Yeah.
And it can do it even based on like not being able to pull from the wealth of the internet's knowledge on Vampire, the core book.
Yeah, I'm not bringing up this game. It is current data up to like a year ago. I think it was like April of 24 was when this model was made.
All right, cool.
So I was like, give me some identifying characteristics of a vampire, of a middle-aged overweight vampire. And it did it.
Why are you still overweight after you're turned into a vampire?
That's a good question.
Like how overweight were you?
No, I said slightly.
What do you think? They just get to choose? They just get to think themselves thin?
No, but specifically, you get like a more physically healthy and
more
vital look. Yeah, you get like younger. Everything kind of tightens up. You might even get like your muscles might enlarge a little bit. Whatever makes you, but it maybe not as well. I mean, you kind of get to choose. Like if you want to still have a little pudjo, then you can do that.
Sure.
I got a blend of musk, sandalwood, and amber.
But just so you know, if anybody could alter their appearance at will, it is Corvin.
Right.
He is the flesh crafter.
Well, I don't know that that's the specific trait I wound up picking.
You didn't. You will eventually.
Right.
They all do. As soon as you start to see some of the stuff that other Smithy are doing,
I'll get it out. I'll choose that one to get out of the LCC. How about that?
Yeah. Like what I have to roll to make my weenie real big. I'm gonna pull flesh from my nose and add it to my penis.
Oh no, he did the reverse.
What?
So the physical characteristics, is that as a vampire or before?
Where physical characteristics where you mean?
I thought you said something about distinguishing features. I'm sorry. That's what I
okay. Those are appearance and distinguishing features is all now.
So as a vampire. Okay.
Yeah. Now as a vampire. And then and again, this doesn't have to be this is a living document, okay?
Yeah.
So if you gain some kind of like permanent what we'll call aggravated damage that leaves you scarred even as a vampire, add that to your distinguishing features, right? But if there's anything now that you want to be like, if you have a tattoo or something, you want to, like, you always wear your hair a certain way, let me know or let us know by putting it there. It's not important to sit here and wait for everybody to do it, but that's what that is. Okay. History. Okay. There's a gap between your embrace and the time that we start playing. Okay. you don't have to come up with anything now. If there's anything at any point in time that you want to add to that history that will make our game better, do it. Even if you want to like send me something on the side, I can use things that you've done before. You know, we can bring them into the story now. Okay. It can affect a lot of things. Or if you want to bring something up, that's like always available. You've got decades of history that you can add to your backstory. We can even play some out if you want.
I got a question for you, Ken.
Yes, sir.
Can I have the Mothman? Can the Mothman be a vampire? Just
like the real,
narratively speaking.
The Mothman. What is that?
Could the myth of the Mothman just have been a vampire? Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah. Just you do the legwork on that and provide it to me. And sure,
that's dope.
You got it, boss.
Dude, I was obsessed with the Mothman for a while.
Okay, this next part's very important.
Okay,
for a roleplay. Okay, this is the beliefs section. Your convictions, your touchstones, your ambitions, and your desires. Okay. Your convictions are your personal code, things you live by. Okay. They're going to guide your character choices, and I'm not going to necessarily force you to abide by them, but what will happen is you're giving yourself things that your character cares about that will guide your gameplay. And if to the point where if you don't abide by these convictions, you have to come up with reasons not to, or like roll to resist the urge to do these kind of things, right? So if your conviction is something like never expose children to violence, one, you don't ever do it. If you like are desperate, here's how this applies. One, you don't ever do it. Easy. What if you're starving and you're about to go into like a hunger frenzy and there's like just a school bus full of kids like at an after party, right? Or so like after prom or something, and like you're going by and you like have to okay, you're gonna have to do some major resistance to not kill these kids, right? And it'll be harder for you narratively to do that. Or if you
we can all appreciate.
Yeah, and if you see someone else, another vampire harming a kid, or a mortal harming a kid, you basically like must intervene or tell me a reason or come up with a good reason why you're not. That sort of stuff. Or if you see somebody hurt a kid, you might go into an anger frenzy. That little detail controls a lot of the narrative. Okay, so put some thought into that, or come up with it now.
So we need to come up with one sort of like core. What keeps me, I guess, from being like, oh yeah, my conviction is that aluminum foil should never be put in the microwave.
Well, I'd say that's stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
and if you don't, you're gonna lose a bottle cap over there.
Trying to figure out, like,
let me say a little bit more. Okay, so this is a. Do you consider that a human value?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is like, do we need to distill it to our core value, or
your conviction is a human value that carried over with you through into death.
Got it.
It can be a religious code, personal ethics, something on a vampire path, whatever. But we'll, I think, come up with these as like live in action, like as a group. After we introduce your characters here in a moment. Touchstones, these are living NPCs that you have a connection to. That's like a big deal to you.
Your mom.
It could be. They don't have to know you, by the way.
It's Jodie Foster.
Kevin Bacon.
I shot Reagan.
So here are some examples from the core book. Okay, a surviving human spouse, lover, or parent, your human child, a descendant, somebody who looks like somebody that you loved in life, a human related to somebody that you killed earlier in your own life that you still feel bad about and you swore you'd never kill, so that you know, as like your proof that you're not a monster and you can control yourself. Someone you recognize as a really, really good person, and it's like rare to you to see someone of that moral standing, etc., etc. Here it is. Someone that represents something you hold dear in life, like a soldier, a baseball player, a musician, an actor. So yeah, you could be like whatever, Dolly Parton, right? Or someone who guards or protects something that you value. This actually says the doorman of the building that you used to live in. I mean, like touchstones. Okay, here's what this affects. You're going to want to check in with these people. And if anything bad, basically, if and when anything bad happens to these people, you're going to have a very difficult time narratively. It is basically it's a living representation and cornerstone of your humanity, because this is all about balancing your humanity and your beast, and not completely giving into the beast and slipping into just being a pure monster.
Y'all better hope nothing happens to Dolly. I'm gonna keep Dolly Parton on my sheet, but I will think of another one.
I'm gonna say, bro, you're gonna make
more down to earth.
You are gonna make me kill Dolly Parton in this game.
So this is just. So you said they can or they cannot know that you are?
Doesn't matter either way.
Okay.
That you're a vampire?
So yes.
If they know, we're gonna deal with that.
So they could know you're a vampire. They could not know.
We have to have a conversation about that.
Yeah, that's a bigger deal. It's a bigger deal if they do know, but they can't.
Okay. So it's really just kind of like whether they know you or not is irrelevant.
Correct.
I mean, it could have some effects, but as far as like,
yeah,
I don't have to. I'm not limited to them knowing or not knowing. It could be just somebody that I, in the shadows, take care of because I was guilty. I feel guilty for killing their kid.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Anything like that.
Or I just think they've got nice tits or something like that.
There we go. Canceled again. Yep. But yeah, that could be it. That could be it. For you in particular,
I need a list.
Are you holding to things to not say? Yeah. Just put don't objectify women on a post-it note.
Pretty good start.
And then that could be most of them. And then don't demean women. Make that number 2 for you.
Okay.
And then make 3 like don't use female slurs. And then you'll be covered.
Yeah.
So okay, we'll go through those things. Then your ambition and your desire. Your desire is something you really, really, really want, and that might guide your entire chronicle. And your ambition is what you really want to achieve in the short term. And all I'm doing right now, clicking around, is making sure I don't have those 2 backwards.
So desire is more long-term?
No, I'm sorry. No, the ambition is the long-term one. Your ambition is your long-term goals. It keeps you moving night to night. Your desire is something you want more short-term. Your ambition is lifelong. Or unlifelong. Okay. Whew. Let's get on to a little bit of making some decisions together. Okay. This is about your coterie. Your coterie is your group. Coterie name, coterie type, chronicle tenants, city, members, etc. There's a lot to go through here that you guys need to decide.
Is coterie our vampire troop, or is it everybody in our lives?
That's you 3.
The 3 of us. Oh my goodness.
So
we need a team name, is what you're telling me?
Essentially like a gang name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get over to your coterie here in the rule book for this part to help you go through all this. Did you guys pick predator types already for your characters?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
Cool.
I thought so,
but I don't remember what it was.
Right.
Black Velvet. Sorry, I was listening to that song earlier.
Where would we see that? Oh wait, I'm a trapdoor. Predator type trapdoor. I'm like a spider. I build a nest and lure my prey in.
Snatch him off the street.
Mm-hmm. I thought that fit with my. I'm a landlord and have a shitty shitty place for people to live.
Where did you find that type? Is that alley cat? That's what it is.
My Samiche. Yeah, I found it under creation, I think.
It looks like it's one of the things it's just right under your name on the character sheet. Bobby, we cannot hear you for some reason.
Sorry, I was muted. I was eating ice.
I appreciate
So
that.
it's the third word, right? So mine says
Yes.
Bruja, Childer, and then Pursuer. So that's my hunting type. Okay, that's what I thought. My internet's being fucking dumb.
You got that Elon net still?
Yeah.
What else are you gonna do?
I don't have any options.
You're right.
Okay. Coteries. Yeah, give yourself a you can give yourself a team name, you can do that later. But let's start with coterie type, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys looked into this at all?
Negative Ghost Rider.
Okay.
You just said yeah.
All right. So
sorry, bro.
your coterie type is you can either choose something here or invent something of your own, or we don't have to do it at all, but you probably should. These are going to have cost and dot attributes just like other aspects of your character do, but it applies to your coterie as a group. And basically you're just going to be, if you want to take anything, you're going to be balancing negatives with positives to get like a net zero here. Okay. These things are going to be what your coterie values, how you guys play together, and kind of what some goals are. But it's also going to determine certain things like your domain, if you even want to start with the domain, which is like kind of your hunting area, your haven, which is where you reside, your resources, things like that. Okay.
So we've established that Corvin is a fat old landlord.
We should do this first. We should
want to talk about his building.
Let's detour and give you each the floor on your characters for a little bit.
Okay.
So that everybody can know what
Guys,
they're working with.
I sent a little list of coterie names to you to look at.
All right. So who wants to start?
Which channel?
Whoever's starting, why don't you screen share your character sheet?
It sounded like Who Boy's going first.
Otis?
Boy, let me figure out how to screen share my character sheet. Now, boys, my name is Otis P. Shagwell, and I ain't never used one of these computers before, but I'll do my best. Now,
hang tight.
I want to. Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
There we go.
Here's my character art. Let's see if I can pull her up here. Oh, show me them pearly whites, Otis. Dadgummit. Well, what you want to know? You just want me to roll through here? What I got?
I want you to introduce your character to the group, okay? Because you guys are going to know each other, so you need to start with a little bit of knowing each other.
Yeah.
You got to, but just kind of say like your name, your concept, your clan thing, like how you like anything you do. Like for example, okay, if I'm a Nosferatu, I have this group of animals that I control that are kind of my eyes and ears in the sewer.
And
I kind of came from this, as much or as little as you want.
And I ain't never touched them. I know what you're thinking. Yeah. Well, first of all, just appearance wise, I went ahead and filled that in. I went ahead and wrote Raggedy Ass Hillbilly is my appearance. So I think what we do is it's like a scene where it just, like fades up from black, and it's we're all sitting around in like a church fellowship hall, a bunch of chairs in a circle.
Fellowship hall.
I'm Otis. Welcome to this meeting of Bloodaholics Anonymous. Yeah, so Otis appears to be a young man. You know who I really want to play him is the pirate with the glass eye from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah,
What that
yeah.
guy. So
Okay.
that's how I'm imagining him. Is like I'm not gonna say that this man has meth mouth because I don't think that that's probably an okay thing to say on the internet. And also,
I don't think anybody doing meth is watching our show, so we're probably
That's
all right.
that may be the only thing that would make our show bearable. But he's sort of got you might describe him as sallow or with a sort of sunken face. He's a sort of skinny, but like very you know how people who do like tons of drugs get real like stringy looking.
Yeah, sinewy.
He's sinewy. That's right.
Sinewy.
That's
All
what
right.
So that's what he's looking like. It's probably a little bit anachronistic in his style because he was born in 1942 and served a little bit of time in the early days of Vietnam. He has very visible, like just kind of anywhere that he's got skin exposed, including up onto his face. He's got like kind of a really ragged looking burn. And I was gonna come up with a real funny story about him doing some dumb hillbilly shit and getting napalmed by his own squad, but I think probably better leave the yakety sack stuff out of the Vietnam War jokes for the time being.
All right, hey, as you make sure you note that stuff, okay? Like the Vietnam War, and then also, do you want? So I'll just interrupt as we go through to pull out relevant details. So you can also add these things while other people are talking if you want, or later on. But do you want this a good way to pull in touchstones, or any other contacts? Like a good touchstone might be like a Vietnam War buddy's grandchild or something.
Mm-hmm.
So like keep that kind of stuff in mind there, okay? Because you don't have any touchstones selected yet.
Sure, yeah, except for Dolly Parton. So. Do we want to do how much backstory stuff do you want to do?
No, keep going. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So briefly, you kind of don't read my surprises. So here's what I'm thinking is that like, so he goes to Nam, has a bad time, comes home, moves back to his, West Virginia Appalachian life, and, goes back, moves in with his family. But he's kind of like become a pariah in town. There's like a group of like his old bullies from back in school that have always made fun of him for being trash or whatever. And one night he's out late and they kind of like jump him, right? He's by the quarry mines or whatever. And they're like seriously looking at like kind of threatening him and pushing him like off into the quarry. Like they're threatening to kill him basically. And suddenly whoosh, a dark figure with red eyes comes in and like and scares these guys off and does the Mothman thing. And it turns out to be the Mothman, who is also a Nosferatu vampire who's been living sort of in isolation in this area because of his grotesque disfigurement that would upset the Masquerade. Because Nosferatu, they're part of their thing is that they wear the signs of their corruption on their like outward appearance. You can see that they are visibly disfigured as part of a condition of their vampirism thing. And I think what happens, I don't know how, I haven't fleshed this out very far, but I think what happens is the Mothman takes pity on the situation that Otis finds himself in and offers him the embrace. And so that's how, and that's in the mid 60s. So that's how he has come to be part of the Masquerade. And for the most part, it's just dumb hillbillies missing a few teeth.
Cool.
All right.
Classic
So
JD Vance story.
So your sire, I'm going to add your sire to the relationship app.
Indrid Cole is his name. Yeah.
Indrid Cole?
I think that's the name that's associated with Indrid Cold. I don't know.
I love the Mothman thing. That's
I may
pretty
just
cool.
I may have stolen the Indrid Cold connection from the Adventure Zone, but I don't regret it.
So that's what we want. Indrid Cold.
Yep, INDRID COLD is their name. His name.
Mothman Indrid Cold. Okay, so how would you say your sire feels about you?
That's what I haven't really fleshed out, because I think Otis's character makes the most sense if he's essentially like orphaned in the sire category. That, like, I feel like the Indrid Cold maybe like turned him and then was very keen to like get back to the solitary life that he was living, and kind of like, you know, trained him just enough to know what he needs to know, and then like kind of keeps him at arm's length or whatever. I don't know how much that jives with the mechanics of siring in the story, though.
Sure, no, that's fine. Like you would have been his charge, but I mean, it doesn't mean he has to abide, right?
And I'm not saying he like totally abandons him, but I think like he's not looking for like a Padawan. You know, he's like, you know, I'll teach you, but then you got to go.
All right.
I'll give you 6 months.
Okay. So he drops down, Mothman, right?
Yeah.
And he just like kills all these dudes, or what?
Well, so the Mothman like legends usually have him like chasing cars and stuff like that. So I'm imagining that he, you know, maybe does something to like scare these kids, and then, you know, like runs beside them and is like, ah. But I think that just mostly that jives with the Mothman legends more than anything. But
what's Otis's?
If they need to die, I'll fucking kill them.
Maybe you will.
Oh, yeah. I'll come back.
Okay.
For him.
I'm gonna make a note. We're gonna play this scene out.
Indrid kicked me out after I went back and killed, you know, like power high with my new powers, and I go back and kill one of my old bullies. Oh, and as a result of all of this, my conviction is that bullies should be defied. I feel like that gives you plenty to play with.
Hell yeah, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've added. You guys should have access to the mural board too. But okay, so I've added your sire, and that shown mercy by offering the embrace, but then orphaned. Okay, what is your perspective on your sire?
Ooh, big fan. I'm doing is his name Colin Creevy? Is that the guy from Harry Potter who's a total stand for Harry?
Oh, okay, yeah. So you love your sire. Are you
love him?
Do you know where he's at? Do you have access to him?
Oh, he just lives in the mountains, I think.
So you have access to him whenever you want?
Yeah, but only if he wants to be found. So is it maybe the kind of thing where I can just go like wander through the forest and be like, Papa?
Yeah, is this like a free loyalty, or is it like you think it's like a blood, or you see it more as like a blood bind thing?
I don't understand the question.
Are you going back like once a month to drink his blood and staying bound to him, or is this like a like a choice loyalty? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like he'll tolerate it if I like come back periodically, but he's done the tough love father kind of thing and just been like, get out there, don't call me.
All right, cool. All right, great. And then we'll circle. Is that good for you? You good?
Yeah, great.
Excellent. Okay, we'll circle back around to you whenever back around to everyone actually when everyone has spoken, because then we need to establish peer-to-peer relationships. All right, Otis. Congrats. You can have 1 experience point. And add that to your character sheet. Okay, who's next?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bob, you want to go?
Can you go first?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bob's trying to win.
No, I'm trying to.
Power gaming.
I'm.
All right, cool. I got to share my screen. I don't think I'll take as long as.
I don't know. What if I have follow-up questions? You know what I'm saying?
Old Blakey Blue. I gotta give permissions. Come on now. It won't let me do it.
Save big money. You save big money. When you shop with
I may have to drop real quick. Can I drop and come back in? Is that cool?
Yeah, I guess.
For
Whatever.
some reason, it won't let me share my screen. So I'll be right back.
All right.
Hey, do you need building supplies and want your money to go support causes that you hate and probably would be really offended by if you knew more about? Then go to Menards, or also Home Depot will get you to the same place. And I assume Lowe's probably. I would think all of those places would have fairly objectionable people in charge of them, but especially Home Depot. Anyway, back to Yukon.
All right, Corvin, by the way. I am trying to share my screen. Can you see
It's
it?
happening. Here we go.
Woo-wee.
All right, if I need to zoom in or
Handsome
anything, you
fella.
let me know. I'm going to go to my character sheet here. All right, my name is Corvin Grimshaw. I am a Zamichi neonate trapdoor. I'm grounded. All right, so what do you want to know about me? I was born in 1905.
Old man.
Lived through a lot, including a couple of world wars. People looked at me funny when I called it the First World War. But I was embraced in 1960. So I look like I'm in my mid-50s, early 50s. True age is 120. So I lived through the Great Depression, lost my family during the Great Depression because I couldn't provide for them. So they ran away. Lost all my money. Began frequenting a brothel.
Your family ran away? Didn't die?
Yeah, they left me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
They went west with some Okie.
Sure.
Ran
Otis.
circus. Always
Um,
me.
So I sought out a brothel for solace. And I was looking to become a businessman. You know, I was a failure. So I wanted to rectify that with some financial success. And I was offered an opportunity by the madam of the brothel.
Mhm.
And I thought, you know, she was going to give me some investment advice or...
You didn't understand what she meant when she offered to suck you out.
Yeah. And so I did wind up becoming like a landlord of a slummier, you know, not the wealth I wanted, but it's provided for me. And let's see. My convictions: always keep your sworn word. So, you know, I told my family I'd take care of them. Never found them again. So touchstones, well, I guess I did find them because I said in my touchstones, it's the caretaker of the graves of the family I lost. So that person can change, right? I've lived a long time.
Yeah.
So
it's just the current caretaker, huh?
Current caretaker.
Because you're saying they died, but you know where they're buried, and so
yeah,
you go.
I guess I figured that out.
Bill
the
with
bodies
the
are buried.
Undertaker or whatever. Nice.
Yeah.
Where are they buried?
Well, let's see. I mean, are we set on where this is going to take place, right? We talked about that.
Grand Old Indianapolis.
Yeah. So it's going to be in another city. I'd say they went away, but I don't know that they would have gone far away.
Mm-hmm.
So we could say like
Murray,
maybe like Terre Haute or Anderson or something like that.
They did not make it far at all, huh?
Right. I mean, it was it was a long time ago.
It was the 40s.
Yeah. So I haven't decided on the desire yet because it sounds like that's relationship map based. My ambition.
Question: Do you know how they died, or do only I know?
I don't know.
All right.
No. But I didn't. My sire was Clarissa Morningstar.
That explains it all.
All right. And so my ambition
was that, in fact, the madam of the brothel.
Yes.
Okay.
My ambition is to bring her a definite end for the deceitful promise she made that led to my embrace. All right.
You promised me.
Right.
Okay, so you hate her.
I don't like her.
Does she like you?
Yes, because I think that's the nature of our clan.
I can't think of this any other way than her vampire biting you on the dick.
Because we like the way this works for
and sucking the blood through it.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
For our kind, right? This is all about like ownership for
Sure.
Samichis or whatever they're called.
I feel like you got to learn what they're called if you're going to be in the club.
I'm just going to say Samichi then. But so it's about like accumulating power and wealth and like total ownership over over your sires. And so I'm resentful of that. Like I was hoping for something else. I was not looking to become a vampire. But I was looking at the timeline of all this. So she made me this promise years after I met her, so this was like I'd been going there for a while, right? Like family left, Great Depression. So in the 30s, it wasn't until 1960 when I was turned. So
okay. And she,
pretty big betrayal of trust after having
for 30 years of being the best customer.
Known her for a while.
Yeah. Is your sire still involved in your own life?
My initial thought was no, that I didn't quite know where she was anymore.
Oh,
I lost track. I had lost track of her. That doesn't mean she lost track of me because again, Samichis are about really controlling their people, controlling their clans. And then kind of the landlord part of it is all about like, I think I have to have some. See, Touchstone is like that kind of confused me for a little bit because of the like how it talked about the Samichis.
Your Bane?
Yeah. Like I have to be near I have to be surrounded by something.
A charge of yours, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a living thing.
Right. It can be a place. It can be an organization. And so I was thinking for me it was going to be more of like a group of people or a.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
I got to kind of figure out what that's going to be.
So this has evolved from the way it was in previous editions. This used to be that you had to carry soil with you from your birthplace.
Right. Yeah.
Or from like your living land and like always sleep with it.
Yeah.
And what a lot of Samichi would do is they would flesh craft it into their body.
Oh, okay.
Does that mean they put it in their butt?
Yeah. and sealed it shut.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can be creative with it. You can think about it. You don't have to come up with it now, but you need it before our first session.
Yeah.
Do vampires poop?
I thought it sounded kind of cool.
Yeah, but you can, but you got to rouse the blood.
Yeah, must choose a specific charge a physical domain, a group of people, an organization, or even something more esoteric.
Yeah.
And not being around it will cause harm or something.
Right.
So I don't really want to pick something where I need to be at 625.
It's going to give you. It's basically
West
emotional.
Street.
It's emotional damage if you're not.
Emotional damage.
Don't make it be a physical location because then you're going to give yourself.
But see, it could be like a certain kind of people, right? So I could find those people, right?
Make it really racist.
A building tied to their obsession, a local counterculture faction. So I could come up with something.
What if it's like you have to be around alt-right incels?
Oh God, that's not. We're in the Midwest. That's not hard.
That's the only place I feel like home.
So you go to sleep like blasting Twitch streamers out online through your casket.
Yeah.
And
or
listening to Sweet Home Alabama while you're doing it.
Yeah. Fueled by white rage.
Love that. So I've got one touchdown for you. Do you have a second or
I don't think I
did.
Let me go back to my character sheet real quick. I had one.
We can wait on it.
So always keep sworn word, caretaker, bring a definite end. Yeah, that's kind of what I'd put. Yeah. So that's it.
Okay. If y'all have one, we'll just have one be established through gameplay. The second one.
Okay.
But I mean, they can come and go. You know what I mean? We'll just have to play it out, but we should start with at least 2.
All right.
All right. I'm all good with that.
Cool.
Everybody. Okay. Great. All right, Bob. Next. Time to screen share.
Okay. Let me.
I'm gonna go screen off real quick.
That.
Okay. And I'm sharing.
Cool. Let's watch what we do in the
my character sheet, right?
No. Yeah, it shows great. Character sheet, bro. Yep. Hey, I see we had a viewer just join. Welcome, viewer. One thing that's really exciting to watch is people talk through character creation for video.
Let's get to talking about statistics, fellas.
Actually,
a +6 to your die roll.
All right, player Bob Van Hex.
Oh, Bob's about to bring the heat.
So
you dipped on screen sharing,
right?
Bring it back.
Oh, I want to do.
Oh man.
Hold on. All right.
Bobbert Vander Hicks.
Is that showing up?
Where does my magically cursed fuck dog fall in the touchstone thing?
There it is.
Oh, let's see. Let me look at a character sheet.
I think we established that we had a dog that I fuck.
Yeah. Hold on.
It says it right here on my character sheet.
Oh God.
That would be. Let's see here. I think you'd make any animal companions a touchstone.
I go to jail.
If they're not a touchstone, if they're not close enough to you to be a touchstone, I think as far as character sheet goes, make them like an item, or just make them a note.
Okay. Yep. Can do.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of an inventory item at that point if you're just using it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Bob.
Okay, so I might be missing some parts. So if I need to fill in some of this, let me know. Anyway, so Bob is a middle manager at a distribution company. He recently, not recently, but recently or shortly before he was embraced, he lost a 5-year relationship prior to this. Her name is Evangelina Frey. She was a surveyor for a civil engineering firm. She and Bob met through some sort of business dealings that his company and her company were involved in. I haven't quite snuffed that out. And so
her name is Ivana Humpalot.
Is this all written? Is this all typed out in your sheet?
Yes.
Can you scroll to that part? Just so I can see it while you're talking, because it's like rip roaring through it.
Well, I can post it, but yeah, let me.
Yeah, just scroll down so we can see this part.
Oh,
are you trying to keep it a secret?
No. Oh, sorry. It's not down here. It's not down here yet.
Okay, well, just copy paste and share it to me later in the Discord.
Okay, so there's a little bit here, but
Okay, and what's the year on this that this is happening?
so the
Your job and your
2012.
Oh, okay, nice.
Is he your baby?
He's a little baby.
So he was born in 75, like me, and this happened in 2012. So he was 37 at the time. So one day in 2012, out of the blue, the boss or the manager of the distribution company branch sends Bob to give a presentation to the CEO. So he goes out of town, flies, takes a flight, all that. And Bob is confused because he knows he's a nobody. And he's like, "Why are you asking me to go? I'm like fucking nobody." And he's like, "No, he wants you to go." It's like, "All right, whatever." So he's like, "Okay, this is my chance. I'm gonna prove myself. I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna be successful. I might be able to win Evangelina back and all this." And so he gets there. Boss listens to the presentation. And then he's like, "Hey, that was pretty good. Can you come in here and help me do something in this room?" And then he goes in and he sees this little girl kind of in the corner. It looks like she's praying or something. And then the door clicks. Bob turns around. And he's like, "Wait, what the fuck?" And like the CEO's not there. Then he turns back around to the girl and she's like staring at him, the whole, horror movie thing. And so that's how he gets embraced, is through that process. And so the CEO.
Oh, your sire's a little girl. Oh man, highly frowned upon. What's her name?
Is it okay? Did I fuck something up? I can make her older.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
It's what he's saying is it's frowned upon in the vampire world. It's very good for the storytelling world.
Okay. I can't keep track of stuff. Sorry.
Her name?
I don't have a name yet, but I can get one. Let me.
Is she American?
More than likely, yeah.
And, okay, her name is.
Well, I can here. Let me just do my cheat sheet here.
Jelani.
Let's go with let's see, Lily Bryant.
Ooh, Larry Bird.
Lily.
That's a good one for where we're playing.
Yeah. And then the CEO's name.
So she might be a couple hundred years old too. Keep that in mind.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Lily.
And then
of the Ohio Bryants. Okay.
And then the CEO's name is Marlon Bryant.
All right. Do we care? Oh, Marlon Bryant, huh? Is the CEO?
Yeah, because it's his daughter, or that we're thinking, but that may need to change.
Okay. No, hold up. Yeah, that will need to change. Hold on.
Okay, I can change the.
Oh no, this is good though. And then Marlon. Okay.
Or maybe he's her.
You say Marlon?
Marlon.
Yeah, he's like so that's like their family thing, is that they all serve Lily as like ghouls, or as like human
thralls or something. Or
well, they don't have to be thralls. They could do it willingly, right? So they can like.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the Bryant family. Okay, they all.
So maybe Marlon is like a grandson or a great grandson of Lily.
Yes, right. Well, not Lily. If she's a little girl, it's pretty fucked up, Bob.
but if she's a vampire though.
Yeah, but you don't want her to have been having kids when she wasn't.
Oh well, maybe let's make her of childbearing age. Like let's say she was like
brother.
Well, let's say she was like 1800s, 15, 16, not 9 or 10.
You know what we always say when we read these stories? Just make them 18.
Okay, just 18. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to stay with the time of the 1800s.
If you want it to be like a child, we could, you just don't say that it's not her descendants, or her like progeny. You can just say it's like her brother. Had kids or something, and her brother would take care of her.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So CEO is a brother.
Dude, no, hold on. So Lily's brother. So Lily's brother loved her, right? And would bring her things to
eat. Essentially, yes.
Animals and people. Then his progeny continued the practice.
Yeah.
And they used her power to generate the business power, and wealth.
Sure.
And that's like the big business the big family secret. Okay, man, fuck, that's cool. All right.
Yeah.
So they're like,
let's
"Here,
see.
eat Bob." Okay.
Yeah, but so he gets embraced, and so he doesn't die. I don't know if we have to flesh that out.
No,
or
you do
not.
die.
Okay, so you do.
It's
so
a
it's not
purposeful
like
act. So you die, and then they feed you their own blood. So they wanted you to be a
okay, that's right.
vampire. Is it because you're a nobody?
So the book,
or is it because they see something
it's
in
not
you?
like the book we read.
Right. It's not a mistake. I mean, you can be mistakenly embraced if you want. Let's just talk through it.
Right.
Okay?
So being embraced, you have to drink the blood of the vampire.
Right. Yeah, it's not a disease. It's not like
Right.
that.
Okay.
Virus.
Okay. So I'll have to flesh that out then. Do I need to do that right now?
Did you like 180? No, well, we can figure it out together. Did you like 180 from what you were gonna do? I thought you were gonna be like a firebrand political activist.
No. It was kind of along the same lines, like a cucked guy that just was like a nobody and just felt powerless, and then he gets embraced, and now he's like, okay, I have these powers now. I can do things, and I don't feel so powerless anymore, kind of thing. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Initially.
Okay. It could be something where like we can make it an accident if you're like fighting back, right? But it could be something where like maybe maybe you fight back hard enough with like enough just natural rage, even if you don't have the strength, that Lily wants to turn you instead to be like one of her, goons or something, to like protect her, serve her, that sort of thing.
So say that one more time. Maybe
she's like, okay, so Brujas are like really impressed with like rage and intense ambition and stuff like that, right? So what if your guy what if we just retcon him a bit to say he's got like a major anger problem? Maybe that's why you got broke. Maybe that's why your relationship ended.
Okay.
So maybe like keep it docile and kind of cucked as just kind of a way to like suppress your rage.
Right.
But that all comes out when you're like kind of fighting for your life. And she's like, "Oh, I can see you've got the fire, right? Live forever." Is that kind of deal?
Right. So the intent was for her to just feed off of him.
But you raged out, and she was like, "Okay, I like this guy."
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay, what do you feel? What's your what do you think is your current feeling towards your sire? Oh, by the way, I forgot to give you points, Yukon. You can add a point as well. Everybody's gonna get a point for this.
Okay. So. I do that on my character sheet.
Yeah, just go to where it says your experience and just add one. You should be able to click it and hit a plus sign.
Okay. I need to do that, so that means I have 2 so far. Okay. So let's see. Can he have mixed feelings because
you can.
So he's appreciates the newfound power that he has, but he also knows that he can never be with Evangelina again. So he's kind of pissed off about that.
Okay, and this will have been in 2012, and it's 2025 right now. So this is still your feelings,
right?
Yeah. Yes. That. Is Evangelina a touchstone of yours?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's what I have her as.
Okay. Nice. Did you have any other touchstones listed?
Not right now. I'd like to maybe think of 1 or 2 more.
Okay. Yep. Or they can just kind of pop up during the game. Either one's fine. Cool. Okay. What else you got?
That was all I had right now. Sorry, that's
what I was. No worries. Otis is gone. Where's he go? His camera's not.
Where's he go?
His camera's not on. I wonder if he's pulling a wanky. Okay, very fun. Good characters, y'all. Good characters.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask a couple questions, but we gotta wait for our dude to come back. Black.
Blackity black. Don't talk black.
But do come back.
On your back.
Yeah. It's the come on his back kid.
All right.
Hey, welcome to Shelf Importance, everybody. Watch us all look down at our keyboards and clickety clack.
Yeah, I think these are good old characters.
Well, let's just discuss you two for now, okay?
Look at each other's character sheets.
Yeah, you can drop your sheet out here, Bob.
Do what now?
You can just stop sharing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, no worries.
So,
no worries.
Within Demiplane, can I see the party's character sheets?
Everybody shared their sheets, and then over in the Discord, I have in the vampire category,
Right,
the character sheets channel. You should be able to click the link and then check the sheets out for everybody if you need to.
Okay. I see you sent a link for mine. Oh, I see a link for Bob's. Okay.
All right.
Cool. Ooh, you're a finance man. All right.
Fine. Do you have a high Seneschal score?
So how do we see the different
what?
characters?
There is a character sheet channel over in the VTM category in Discord.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me go there.
She was a surveyor for a civil engineering firm. Specific. God, that little man on my screen keeps creeping me out, Ken.
Does he? Nice.
I'll make him go away.
Hey, he's back.
Thank you, Black.
Okay. So we said
Ooh, manipulation. Yeah. What am I?
Character
Am I
sheets.
manipulation?
Okay.
I'm more composure. I've got composure. Cool. You're a vein tapper.
Yeah.
Are we all vein tappers? No, I'm a vein tapper. You are. Wait, why is this page so different? Merits and traits are so different for us too. Bloodhound.
All right, let's talk coterie relationships, okay? So we need to establish you guys as a group. We'll say, yeah, go ahead.
I have a proposal for the name.
Yeah, hit it.
I've written down Grimshaw Holdings LLC because I really want to lean into the slumlord business guy aspect of this. And
The LCC.
I think it makes a lot of sense for UConn to own the building and for us to live in it and sort of be like his underlings.
Okay.
Hey, listen, very good start. I'm gonna try to just facilitate this and let you guys make as many decisions as you want. But that's exactly what we're looking for out of this part of the session 0. Okay, you're establishing where you live, why, what your resources are, how you guys get by, how you are a coterie, how you grouped up together, what your relationships are, all that stuff.
So what? Go ahead. Sorry.
So super good start there. I'd say repeat it, and then you guys.
Grimshaw Holdings LCC.
It's called that because we accidentally filed it wrong.
Right.
You put
because
Otis
that was Otis's job.
Yeah. Otis in charge of the paperwork.
The
And you guys do have
Holdings
places
Little Cock
to,
Club.
you guys do have places to know all these things in your character sheet.
Yep.
So
Okay,
so
Grimshaw Holdings LCC. Do you guys like that as your haven?
yeah, I like it so far. Yeah.
So that's a haven, and is it a functioning business?
I mean, I do run it's not, guys, this is not a fancy place to live. It is good feeding grounds, though.
Oh, I know.
Like, this is how yeah.
I'm assuming
maybe
it's a
that's what
total
attracted
flop
you here.
house. Yeah. Is it?
All right,
Is it like a? How big is this building?
Oh, this is like a truck stop off the interstate, motel slash, long-term Section 8 kind of stuff.
We're talking south side of Indy, right outside the industrial parks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forgettable.
Oh, don't rush through this. Okay, I've got a lot of questions already.
Yeah.
Okay, so just right off the bat, this is not. I would say this is. Would you say this is or is not a fertile feeding ground?
So the building?
For me, it's good because, like,
so I would say, okay, balancing as far as like actual like rules points go, I would say the haven itself is strong as far as like its location and its safety.
So the haven is the place, right?
The haven's the place where you are going to reside. Okay, because I'll say you being the building owner and being where it's located, you can make a lot of good reasons for like the way the interior or the basement or secret rooms or anything like that are, and make it a really strong, safe haven. I would say the how robust of a feeding ground the domain is probably weaker because of that, and that can be a good trade-off for like balancing why you know, as far as like as allowances go and code of recreation, for balancing why you have such a nice haven, and then like it's harder to like feed without breaking the masquerade in your less populated area. You have to go into city more often.
Okay.
So
when we
can we use our the understanding of our characters to kind of shape this stuff?
Yeah, like, everything. Yes, please do.
Well, I was just gonna say, so my character, like when I was picking things, I would kind of tended to pick things like manipulation and trickery, in that I imagine that my character would be one that would go into kind of the upper echelons of the city and get information, manipulate people, and kind of like be like a puppeteer.
The only one of us who knows how to use a computer.
Sure.
Really a fun change in our normal power dynamic between this group. It'll be a fun change in how we normally do things.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would argue to have Grimshaw Holdings a little more in the city, because that's where I imagine the power structure would be, which would be for my character more familiar. But I don't know if that puts us at risk of being discovered. So that's my only comment I have on as far as a haven location.
I mean, it could be a little closer to the city. So I'm thinking about this in the terms of like the progression of my character, where maybe I'm not a super successful landlord, but I feel like, it's been a while. 1960 was when I became a vampire. So I feel like I need to have made some progression. So it's no longer like just people that can afford to be here a night motel. It's people that are living here. Like, it is a permanent residence. So I can't just feed on everybody. So I get that, Ken, as far as like story wise. Okay, if it were people coming in every night and leaving.
Oh, people are living in the hotel?
Well, yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. There are people living there. I'm renting it out to people.
We're doing Schitt's Creek is what we're doing.
Okay, that's fine. Let's talk about some things that you guys need to think through, okay?
Okay.
Some of these can be thralls. Some of these can be blood dolls.
Well, let me keep talking. Because so I've gone past the one night stays. I've got long-term tenants now I'm starting to build my wealth. So I can't just feed on these people, or something suspicious will happen. So I might have someone where I still have a few rooms for people to stay short term. Maybe those are the people I've made my feeding off of, but I can't support like a couple other vampires in a coterie. Like that's why we have to venture out. How's that sound?
Right. Now that sounds great. Just to give you some thoughts on like other ways you can view certain things. Okay, you guys make these choices or not. You've got a situation where a blood doll is a human that willingly gives you their blood to drink on a whenever you want basis. You can have people living here who can't afford to live elsewhere, or maybe homeless. You give them a place to stay in exchange, in exchange for being your blood doll. You will need to have, and we'll need to talk about maybe giving you some flaws for this to trade it off, but you'll probably need to have at least one high quality retainer, which is someone who knows a human, who knows you're a vampire and works for you and is like intelligent enough and independent enough to make decisions for you and run your business during the day.
Well, that's going to be my janitor.
So as far as
maintenance person,
as far as your character sheet goes, if you want them to be competent, that's a 3-point retainer, and you need to balance that with 3 points worth of flaws.
Where am I putting that?
Just it's in your character sheet as under like your backgrounds. So you can look at backgrounds, merits, and flaws. You can do it later. You can do it now. It doesn't matter. But so you'll add the background of a retainer and any contacts that you think you may need to add as well throughout, or heard. Any of those you can add through backgrounds, and then just take an equal amount of points and browse through flaws later and add those.
Okay.
Or as you guys can discuss this, because you're all benefiting, you can take them, you can share it as like a coterie. So you can say,
Yukon take the whole hit.
I'm going to say, because you can have you can write down the 3-point retainer for Yukon, and you can each take a 1 point and a flaw of some sort, or or you can find a way for your Haven or your coterie to take 3 points of a disadvantage.
All right, so I'm at advantages and flaws.
Retainer is what you're looking for this guy or gal or other.
Backgrounds, retainers, select. Okay. Competent retainer.
Yeah, you want them to act independently. They can do other things for you too. Make your little problems go away. Take care of a body, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what I want.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
you're getting Guillermo. That's what you're getting.
Who?
Guillermo.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of the caretaker at Hogwarts. That guy.
Filch.
Yeah, Filch.
Yeah, I'd say it's like a Guillermo or a.
Dude, I love Guillermo.
Yeah.
Where do I give the flaws?
Anywhere. You guys need to figure that out as a group first. If you're doing a coterie flaws, or if you let's call it disadvantages, because they could be flaws. They could be any kind of disadvantage that you take either to yourselves or to the coterie as a whole. If you say we want to take it as a coterie but don't have ideas, you can also just give that to me and I can story it in.
Okay.
It could be like some kind of bad reputation with the prince or some other vampire group or something.
Okay. I'm gonna make just a note that that's something I need to revisit.
All right, I'll also make that note.
And Ken, I think you calling in shots where you're like, "Hey, here's something you should pay attention to," is very helpful, because I think like there's a lot of information, and we're all over here being like, "Blood doll." I'm still processing that. And,
I didn't know that was the thing either. Yeah.
So when there is definitely stuff that we've overlooked. So continue to.
Okay, I just don't want it to be like. I just don't want to feel like I was quarterbacking you guys. I want you to make the choices. All right.
or I don't want to speak for the.
It lights up the
I've been-
brain, huh? To think about
I've been
shit like that.
super busy, so I'm like, I'm not exactly making time to sit and like flip through the rule book. So if there's
Hey, I
something
think you're seeing that I think you're learning that you don't need to. It's all good.
exactly.
You popped out that Mothman idea, and that's like that gave me
That's
tons of
pretty
ideas.
dope.
I love it.
Pow.
Love it.
Grimshaw Holdings. Okay, I mean, what else you got here?
Oh yeah. Okay. So I added a couple of touchstones. One of them is my dog Whiskey, who I do not have sex with.
Thanks for the clarification.
That would be gross and weird. I don't even remember how that joke got started. It's just
You
Apparently-
started the joke.
apparently I was just thinking about fucking dogs one day. Anyway, so Whiskey the dog is can help me with the details on what the dog situation is. It was like some sort of soul-bound animal.
Oh, you want it to be bound. Okay. So
Yeah.
for you, that is a
I want whichever option makes the dog the most invincible.
yeah, okay. Where are we at here? Let me find your character. This is your discipline.
Yep.
And Bond Familius, right?
Yes.
Bond
Yes,
Famulus?
that is
Yep.
correct.
Okay. All right. So
And
the
it's a-
situation here is that you had given the dog blood at least on 3 different occasions. Okay. So you have now a mental link with this animal in addition to
Fuck
the
yeah.
use of, and it facilitates the use of your other animalism powers.
And Whiskey is I want to make Whiskey a female girl. A female dog rather. But I'm afraid I will just I'll confuse myself because I already got attached to this Whiskey name. So I think Whiskey's a boy. He's a good boy, and he's a blue healer. Actually, he's a red healer, which is the same as a blue healer, but it's a different color. And
So it
my
looks like he's
other
perpetually bleeding then, huh?
exactly. No, they're like actual red healers are like a rusty, like a light rusty color.
Oh.
So I got Whiskey the dog, and then I also added. You kind of want to hear your thoughts on why this makes sense,
Okay.
but I have a roommate named Derek, who is he would be
We
a
don't
low
judge here in this city.
he would be a low quality. No, I despite the rumors, I'm not having sex with that Derek. Derek, if he were a retainer, he would be a low quality retainer because Derek is like, I don't even think he knows that I'm a vampire. I think he just thinks I work night shift.
Okay, that's cool.
And he's like a lazy slob who lives in my apartment, and he just like eats Doritos and plays video games all day.
Yeah, the guy from Office Space, the next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if you're not having them really do much for you, I mean, do you have them like do things for you during the day or what?
He keeps me grounded. He's my touchstone.
That's what I'm saying. If he's just a touchstone, you don't have to take it like any kind of point.
Okay,
allocations for him.
I'll think about it, but for the time being, I think he's just there for comic relief.
I like that. Okay.
Played by Seth Rogen.
We can do that. Okay, so Whiskey, this dog. Do you understand your disciplines in regards to this? So Feral Whispers, you can communicate 2 ways with him. Okay.
Yes.
That will have roles, but with your Bond Famulus, it will not. Basically, that facilitates your animal kin and makes it go a lot quicker. So your
Hell yeah.
Your dice pool is charisma animal kin. We'll talk about that more as you use it. You don't have to like remember all that.
Okay.
But basically, it will do things you say. It won't endanger itself unnecessarily, just like it wouldn't in real life without your bond, right? It will defend itself and you, and again, do most things you say, and it can communicate 2 ways with you. So you can use it like as your eyes in the street or something. Or if it's like, hey, what happened? Hey, Whiskey, anything happened last night while I was, or yesterday morning while I was sleeping?
Yeah.
And every night you drink them dry, like you did the bottles of whiskey when you were immortal.
I have to drink my dog.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. The two-way communication is telepathic.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that means you have to understand when your dog's licking itself.
Cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I taste it on my tongue. Canonically, I think whiskey's also like real dumb. So most of the time, he's just like having a mental connection to him is just the same as whenever my dog is just like in my face and breathing on me and doesn't realize that it's awkward. So it's just like the constant feeling in my brain of his hot breath on my neck going.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, and just so you know, the telepathic aspect of it, the mental link is facilitating feral whispers as your bond famulus. So if you just use feral whispers by itself on other animals and they're not bound or bound to you, it's still verbal.
It's like a speak with animals kind of thing.
Yes.
For everybody except whiskey.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can bind other animals though. So you just gotta keep giving it your blood 3 different times. And making it drink it. Like putting it down its throat with some peanut butter.
Just making a little, filling up a little pill bucket.
Yeah, like a Kong full of your frozen blood. Mixed with PB Fit. PB Fit and
You have a vampire dog.
Vampire Vitae.
Yeah, I got a vampire dog.
Oh,
This game
Alright.
rules already.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, what else you got, guys?
Let's see.
Does anybody have an ambition or desire popping into mind? Is this what we're supposed to be talking
So-
I mean,
about?
I
We
said
flesh
my
out for
ambition.
himself.
Mine is
But
to kill my sire.
Oh, that's such a good ambition.
Clarissa Morningstar's traitorous bitch.
I feel like mine should be like, get Derek a job, get him out.
It has to be
That's a
something.
good desire. Yeah, you can need a lifelong one.
It has to be something attainable. Like the rule book says, like saying end racism is not a attainable,
That's-
specific.
And that's how we cured
Ambition.
racism.
Right. It has to be something you can do. And so I saw an example of like bringing a definite end to someone. I was like, well, my sire, I think that'd be a good one.
In spite of how he sounds, I want it on record that Otis would be in favor of ending racism. He's woke. Otis
All right,
got
yeah.
woke.
All right.
Well,
He got his ancestry. He got his ancestry.com results, and he's like, you know what? I think it's bad.
Yeah, they call him actually so woke. They call him Wotus over in the
Wotus.
96 basement bar.
Otis shag woke.
Wotus shag woke. More about your coterie, Haven here.
Yeah.
How do you? So you got a roommate. So you're imagining your sleep like you, Otis, have a room.
I was imagining that that in spite of the fact that we are shared in the kinship bond of both being 13th generation vampires, that Corvin is such a good businessman that he like doesn't cut me any breaks on the rent, and so I had to take a roommate because
Okay.
so it's just like he's really just there to like help pay the bills, and he's usually late, but it's like it's enough that between what I can scrape up and leaning on Corvin's good graces.
All right,
he
so
doesn't
Corvin-
evict us.
Corvin, you've been in the city for a long time. Were you
Yeah.
from the city?
Yeah.
Okay. Bob, you've lived in the city your whole life, basically too? Or you moved from somewhere?
Let's make it to where the distribution company I worked for was somewhere else. And when I came to meet the boss was in Indy.
Okay. So Otis,
Is that okay?
yeah, that's fine. So Otis, you came from West Virginia, right?
I did.
We need to flesh this out at some point, but something brought you to Indy. And
Mhm.
is that as simple as what your connection to Corvin is going to be? Is that like you found you needed to find a haven, and he like basically at the place that I'm going to pitch you guys or locate you guys for like common vampire grounds, you made a connection there, and he's like, "Hey, I've got a room for you if you can make the rent." And or is it something for something deeper than that?
I haven't thought about it a whole lot, but yeah, I think it's like he had some reason to travel to Indy and just he's
Derek.
So-
he looked up the
So
for Derek.
can we somehow connect Marlon, which is my sire's brother,
Yeah.
to Corvin?
Yes, let's do it.
Being
Okay.
that they're in business together. So
Yeah, let me
somehow
Okay,
accept
sorry.
my request on Miro so I can fuck your relationship board.
I gave it to you. It should have come to your email. And I added your touchstones, but you can do more.
This is so much fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it.
I like
Okay,
it.
so there's a character that is connected to Bob Van de Hex. Actually, we haven't established how you're connected to Jen, right?
To who?
Jen, the bar owner.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Just that you like her. You're connected to her.
Uh,
Okay, so there's
yeah. Well, so initially
Jen Trucks.
it had been a lifelong friendship. But if I'm only getting an indie at 37, I'm gonna have to change that relationship. Then I still want it there. Maybe that's something that's developed over the last 12 years, right? Or 13 years, because he got embraced 2012.
Sure. Yep.
So
Is this Spider-Man
that's-
Noir?
Yeah, no, here you go. It's just what I had up so far. Here you go. All right. So there's an old bar in town, underneath an old kind of highway area, busted up old place called Union 86. It's an old Union town hall, right? That was owned by, we kind of forget the name of the original owner now, but this woman named Jen Trucks bought it back in, you guessed it, 86, right? And so it was an old local 238. That was converted into this dingy bar, kind of hole in the wall. But just by Jen's connections to like being just such a likable kind of hard ass, right? She's managed to, bring in clientele, everybody from like local drug lords to local politicians, corporate elites. This is kind of like the watering hole for everybody who really knows where to go to make connections and like backdoor deals, right?
And I think the way I'm going to do this is she knew Marlon before me, and I got to know her through Marlon.
Right. And whenever Marlon was buttering you up a little bit to make you feel, whenever you were being buttered up a little bit to make you feel a little bit more important. So for this trip you're going to have to go on. Let's say they kind of feel bad about, even though they know they have a duty to Lily to like feed their family, right, and keep Lily alive and strong. They still feel kind of bad for the people that they're going to do this to, because they kind of have to wreck their lives and take everything from them, right? So they give them this like cool, make you feel really important last couple weeks, right? Where like maybe you're going to get a promotion.
We're going to take you to the dingiest bar.
Yeah,
in Indy.
they take you to like, we're going to take you to the place that that we don't tell anybody about, that we go to. But you're like, oh, actually, I kind of know this place, whatever. But anyway, Jen already, but you've seen people like go to these kind of back rooms before, and then finally you get to go to one of them, so that's just kind of like that little section there. But you notice there's always people you've seen in the many years that you've gone here. There's you always see people coming in, like as you stay there and you're kicking back like your fifth shot, and it getting into like the late hours of the night. You should be home by now. You see people still coming in and kind of walking through the back door, nodding at Jen and going down the stairs that you've never been permitted access to. Right. What that's about. As a vampire now, you found yourself being able to go down there, and Jen not even looking at you any different. She knows something's up, right? But treats you the same and expects you to treat the bar is the same. If you cause problems in the back doors, you're not going to walk out the front door again, basically is how this place is ran.
Right.
But now what's been going on in the basement the whole time is the more seedy underbelly of the Union 86, where the local unlife mingle with the despicable evil elites of the city and amongst themselves, and make all sorts of political intrigue and deals and machinations, whatever happen. How you guys say that? Machinations or machinations?
I don't know. I was
I'd
hoping
say
you'd know.
I say
I'd
machinations.
Okay, match. That's where all the machinations happen. Lots of seedy shit happens on here. Lots of secrecy. Like I said, a lot of little sneaky deals go on, and now you know that, and you've been a part of this. And through that, you were introduced to Corvin, a local business owner. Corvin, how do you feel? I don't want to force this on you, but how do you feel about knowing Marlon by way of like, putting people up like vampire people who are coming in from out of town, who need a secure place to stay that's kind of off like under the radar, and he gives you a sweet deal where he gives you a little bit extra money.
I'm fine with that. I think my character would be against, though. Like I think there's gonna be a little like this isn't a long-term thing for me, right? My goal is I want to get my sire. Maybe that's the end of me. I'm not sure. My last big hurrah or something. So I'm not like looking to like bring in a bunch of vampires that I didn't sire myself. I think that might go against my predilection.
Just a business, just as a strictly business deal.
Strictly business thing.
Yeah, and as long as they keep to their word about that, it doesn't bother you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Bob, there's your connection to Marlon and Corvin.
Okay, I hope I remember that.
No, it's like, I mean, it's good. I'll remember, or maybe we won't, and if it won't matter. If you forget, you forget. It's a character.
Well, I'll write it down.
Do we need to add Jin to the relationship board?
So
Put her in the center of the web.
Oh yeah, Jen is one of she's not one of your touchstones, is she? No, she's a shared
she's a contact, I think.
She's a human contact. Okay, so we'll put over here Jen.
Why can't I find that? Where's that on my character board?
Owner of...
We are looking at a totally separate app called Miro, M-I-R-O.
So did you sign up for an account, Blake?
Yes.
You did? Okay. Because that was what I got when I clicked on the link, and I was like, am I supposed to put in Ken's email or
am I missing something?
Yes. There's a link to it in the VTM relations channel. Yep.
Okay, so I need to get on that.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I didn't see this thread that you started where you proposed a bunch of other...
I like yours better. Mine was AI generated. Yours is personal and has a human touch. So I'm fine with it.
For the Miro thing, do we use our character name?
I just put a random crap in there. I like Strigoi clan. Strigoi.
Okay, Bob's connection to... Okay, we'll get these connections in here.
Are these things, Ken? Are these just like filler?
Those are vampires that are in the story that you guys know.
Oh, okay. So cool. All right, great. So I shouldn't fuck with it.
Nope. I'll put a little life into him here in a minute. Okay, Bob's connection to Jen is he knows her from being a long time customer.
But how can he do that? That's what I'm getting confused. If he doesn't live in Indy, though.
I thought you said he moved here. Did he not?
Oh, well, yes, but in 2012.
You moved here the year you died? That's fine.
I mean, shortly after. I mean, because it's like...
I got the impression that you came in for a business trip and then got sucked off by a small girl. And then now you're a vampire? Is that what I heard?
Yes.
A small girl who is 18, for the record.
Okay, I'll just say he knows her from the connection to Marlon.
Right. That's
Marlon.
Right.
A lifelong customer. Okay.
Yeah, so he would have been like a long-term customer of her.
Okay, Otis, do you know Jen at all?
I
Just,
would
just
say
as
that
just as an attending vampire.
probably, yeah, exactly. I do now. It's not like I was connected to her before.
Does he have to be?
What?
Does Otis need to be connected to her, to Jen?
He will eventually. So I'm just deciding if there's any
Oh.
connection now or not.
Oh,
Beforehand.
I see. Okay.
I'm just making a bunch of assumptions on how long we've all known each other and what kind of bullshit we've gotten up to.
Okay.
And I'm
I
like,
sent
I
a
assume I've
Miro.
been
I sent a
been
Miro
hanging out
request.
in the
Okay, let me
vampire
see.
thing for a couple of years at least, and so I've been around in the seedy bars and
Yeah.
seen the nightlife and shit.
Right. 7. Wow.
Okay. I gave access to somebody just now.
167119.
Can we have a secret hideout at some point that
Oh,
has
whoa.
a man door access off of one of those fun
cool.
old timey tunnels that are all around Indy, where like a tunnel goes under a roadway and then there's like little access doors in there.
Oh, there is a serious underground tunnel, and that's where the Nosferatu Haven is.
Fuck yeah, boy!
Ran by Father Scab.
I just
Father
sent a Miro
Scab, my
request.
guy.
You did what you sent a request
A
to?
Miro request, yes. just
Okay.
now.
Access granted.
It's asking me to start from a template or start from scratch. What do I do?
I should probably have to do neither. Once I give you the access, I think you click into the board.
This is dope.
Yeah, all I had to do is refresh.
Okay, does anybody want to add anything to your interpersonal relationship to Jen Trucks, owner of the Union 86?
How much tension
You're
is there
connecting this
between-
person to Bob.
Yeah, but you're you're an attendee there as well. Do you have any kind of relationship with Jen, or is
Ooh,
it
that's
just
neat.
that she knows you as a customer?
How do I scroll? Okay. No, that's good.
Okay. Yep, leave the bottom vampires alone. This is gonna like we can all click in and edit and do stuff here. Okay,
This
so
is
whatever
cool.
whatever works for you guys. But here's kind of the here's the key right now. Okay, and I've got it off to the bottom left in case you need a reminder. Black are you guys. Okay.
Okay.
Red are vampires. Blue
Okay.
are mortals. Arrows and lines show the power dynamic. Okay.
Dolly Parton.
So the stronger the dominant party, if there is a dominant and weaker party, the dominant party points to the weaker party.
Hey guys, look, I'm humping Yukon.
There you go. Nice. So, like for example, your sire is pointing an arrow to you, indicating that they are the dominant party, pointing to the weaker one. You are pointing arrows to your touchstones simply because you are dominant over them.
So
Except
are
for
you
Dolly
going to
Parton,
be
which I switched for you?
you're going to be adding a touchstone for me and Bob later?
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
can-
adding more.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can do that.
It just
these
said there
will
was going
change
to be
throughout the
one
game.
per one touchstone per mission or whatever that's called.
Oh, so we can only have one touchstone?
I know it
no,
was
this
I
is- it's
I-
fluid. We can change it as we want.
right. I just thought that it said that it had to be like one per something.
Is the arrow between Otis and Derek because you assume that that Derek knows that I'm a vampire?
Yeah, one per ambition.
No, because it's red. You mean?
Yeah.
No, I'll just change it to blue or to black.
Okay.
I usually do the arrow, the color of the dominant party as well, just so it's a little more obvious.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Well, not usually. I mean, that's just what I've established here. So there's no dominant party between
The
any
three
two
of
of
us.
you
Okay.
right now. So that's why it's a straight line. Okay. So we're definitely establishing some stuff here. Do you want to add Marlon as any kind of contact or mortal or anything, or just keep him a little bit more ephemeral in the story, Bob?
Well, he should have a relationship with me, and I thought we said that also Corbin, because I found Corbin through Marlon. So I'm thinking there should be some sort of like right here or
All right, let's
And-
do
And
Do we have a Harlan and a Marlin?
Do we?
Well, Harlan's my dude.
Okay.
There's Harlans and Marlins out there. It's not a big deal.
It do be like that sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, so Marlin. How do you feel about Marlin, Bob?
Well, he's a mortal. He's a space mortal.
Yes.
He's a space mortal.
This is getting crazy.
And remember, I'm pansexual, so I'm fully erect right now.
Yeah. So I think it's the same kind of mixed bag, just because he can't be with Evangelina, the love of his life, but he's also got these new powers that now make him feel powerful instead of powerless.
Yeah. Let me run something by you real quick too.
Yeah.
You plan to still be like working with alongside Lily, right? Your sire? Not everybody has to hate their sire. I mean, it's all up to you.
Yeah. So I think part of me is like, I want to learn how to be a badass vampire.
Okay, because this would put you, even if you have mixed feelings toward Lily, if you still are loyal, this puts you in a position to have Marlin serving you.
I think that would make sense, because
he's a servant to, he's a family servant basically to Lily, and if she's like Bob's my number two, then Marlin is in your charge basically.
Right. Because that makes sense.
All right, but what do you think about Marlin? You think he's like a powerful and loyal servant, and you value that, or do you think he's like a dickhole?
I don't see why he couldn't be both.
Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts towards him?
I think he's loyal to Lily, not necessarily me, because I think there's some tension there, because he thought I was just going to be breakfast for Lily. And then in the, solitude of the room, Lily sees something in me and then offers me the embrace. And then I come out, Marlin's thinking I'm going to be, fucking eaten up. And then I'm like, nope. And so he's got some angst towards me.
Got it. All right. Corbin, I was just going to put, this is just a business deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I won't disclose Marlin's true feelings toward any of you. Okay. Great. We're filling it out. This is going well. I wonder if I should share the mural board. Do one of you guys want to screen share it? People might want to see it. Are people are watching. Holy shit.
I can share that mural, John.
Couple few. Okay, let's go back over here.
Wait, this isn't being shared and we're just talking about it? Oh,
yeah,
we're not used to having people watch.
We had a screen up of the Union 86, so that was good at least.
Yeah, that was a cool
really
picture.
Nice.
Yeah,
I want to know if there's conflict between the people who are part of the Union and the people and the person whose name is Father Scab. So I feel like
isn't that interesting?
It's a little bit of natural conflict there.
Yeah. Keep that question in mind.
Hell yeah!
Since we don't know much about the
are we talking about labor relations up on this show?
So I have a quick question for Kenneth. So shouldn't you have arrows coming from this Corvin Cremshaw going to there?
If you scroll up, you'll see where I
but so you have them. You have two separate Corvin. I was just thinking you could have a black line.
I just don't want it to get too line heavy.
And okay.
Lines
That's
crossing
fine.
everything.
Yeah,
so
it can get.
We need to enforce a single pattern on this mural, or things are going to get out of control.
So what? Okay, I do have that actually. So what I'm working with is this whole center connection point, right? Are your touchstones, your sires, and yourselves. For one more level removed, so just people and vampires I'm going to create connections from them off the board or off the center, and then establish relationships over there.
And is there like a designated area to draw dicks on this, or is that just like a wherever?
We should draw a relationship map in the shape of a wiener.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so do we have do you guys? Is there more you guys want to go through? Any other ideas sparked?
Man, yeah, it's the relationship part is hard for me because I've imagined Otis as being a weird loner that doesn't have any friends, and so without being like, oh, here's the kid that I fathered while I was in Vietnam. Which I feel like
I do like that Dolly Parton is going to be dominant over Otis.
Yeah, it has to be done. I
like that.
Really preferred the gray background, but
did you? I thought it was a little hard to see. I can switch it back. Everybody liked it, fine.
It just hurts my eyes. I'm a vampire after all.
I mean, I could also we can change some of the other colors, and we can do this.
Oh,
oof!
How
do you change all the text to white?
I think it's too black.
Say it, Otis.
All right. So, okay, at this point, then let's establish relationships. Just it doesn't have to be completely full and in depth, but let's do something in one direction of each one of you, and something in the other direction from each one of you. From one to the other,
like our shared history you're talking about,
or a feeling, a relationship point, right? So, let me give an example. I'll make it up. Let's say Corvin. Well, first of all, Bob, we need to establish. I'm sorry, backtrack. We need to establish you as a part of the coterie. Otis has been established. Why are you there? And why are you in the coterie?
So,
and then we have to give the coterie in general a little bit more life, other than just tenant relationships.
So I found out about Corvin through Marlon.
Actually, I just had an idea. So if you guys do just want to be tenants, I've got a thicker idea to bring you guys together if you want to do that instead through gameplay.
So here's what I was thinking so it's a surprise to Marlon that I'm now a vampire. I was supposed to be breakfast, right? And I was like, well, fuck, now I've got to do something with this Bob guy now. So I know this guy from my, dealings at the, what we call it, Uni 86.
Yeah, Uni 86.
And I know he has a haven. I'm going to put Bob in contact with Corvin. Corvin is kind of like Bob's kind of fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of thing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Obi-Jen.
Yeah. Kind of like not really
Bobby Jen. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah, I got you.
Just kind of like somebody to, hey, here's a new vampire. He's got some emotions, just give him a place to stay.
He's our zaddy for the show.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're also a tenant.
Yes.
Okay. I like it. Dude, I love that you're the vampire slumlord. That's fucking good. That is seriously so cool.
So we don't even work together. We're not here out of convenience. It's just the only place that we're like, they're not gonna ask any questions if a few drifters go missing.
Yeah, for the most part, I'd say that you guys are you're just acquainted tenant, landlord.
Yeah.
And you're not quite a coterie yet, but I've got a good idea for that goes with the story. We can do that later. Okay. So let's just this is probably might be very this might not be very deep here. So establishing connections and relationships at this point between you two. But like I said, all of this stuff updates constantly and changes. So Corvin Crimshaw, quick take on what you think about Bob Van de Hex. Could be a positive or a negative. And then same from you, Bob, to Corvin. Otis, be thinking about yours.
I mean, again, I think it's I'm seeing all this as just purely business for me. Like, I'm kind of like an underground railroad for vampires,
yeah.
But while focusing on, because there is still, while I don't like my sire,
The Moonlight Railroad.
I'm probably also building trying to build my own little empire, and I don't want these other two like competing with that.
Yeah.
So
you're wanting to build your vampire empire?
Yeah, I
don't think we're supposed to do that.
No,
why
but
not?
my what is it called? Let me go to my character sheet. My Samichi, like that's part of what we do. Is you're
talking about your domain. You're not talking about making more vampires, right? We're not supposed to make more vampires, right?
Hey, you can do whatever you
Listen,
want, man.
Right, but I
hang
mean,
on.
like that's what the vampire code of conduct is that like 13 generations is too many.
Let's
give me a second.
we'll just talk about what you guys will know as vampires at this point in life. Okay, this point in life,
So
you will know that in at least in this city that you're in, there is a prince. There's a whole like feudal kind of system. Okay. The prince is Prince Ezra Delacroix. He's written down here. We'll get into his relationship with you guys later.
It better fucking be Delacroix.
He says Delacroix. I don't
Mm.
he's also a madman. Delacroix. Okay. Hey, I don't mind being corrected. Prince Ezra Delacroix. You can barely taste him. Oh, that's actually it's pretty funny. I like that. And the rule in this city is that you may not sire children unless given permission by the prince.
Okay, so then maybe I read mine. So I may have interpreted mine a little wrong. So it says,
you did not.
For the sake of owning, like Samichis want to own things. Regard the embrace itself as an act of ownership. So that's why maybe the adversarial relationship with Clarissa. Decidedly traditional relationships with their childer, whom they may even regard as property in extreme cases.
No, you didn't misunderstand.
Okay.
So it's really common for just to like uphold the masquerade that siring be kept to a minimum. Okay, so it's a really common rule by the princes and the domains in the cities to like have a no siring unless given permission.
It's legal in Nevada.
Yeah, right. But
in Las Vegas.
That doesn't mean you have to follow it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just means there's consequences if it's found out, right? One way or the other. It doesn't mean that you'll be denied if you ask. So still, that's just the general rule. If you go around siring a bunch of people, you understand that would be an issue.
Yeah.
How available is this prince for meetings if we want to go request a warrant?
Oh, I would say reasonably available. You would be going to one of his harpies of the Elysium. If you just attend an Elysium meeting, which would be called, then you will be able to speak with him.
Tight.
Yeah. Elysium is a safe meeting. So just so you know, Union 86, you also understand, is an Elysium. There's like a no fighting here kind of situation.
Okay.
Ooh.
Between like who's there.
They've set up poke stops around.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's like hallowed ground in Highlander, if you ever watched that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can't kill each other. We're out of church.
Yeah. So going back to my relationship with Corvin, or Bob's relationship with Corvin.
All right, let's hear it.
So I think it's purely just functional. There's not really any kind of friction. There's not any kind of love or anything. Just it's like.
What do you think of him? Do you think he's honorable, hardworking, lazy, slumlord?
I think he's honorable.
Respect his hustle.
Yeah, respect his hustle. He serves a purpose. I appreciate him letting me in, that sort of thing. But I think Otis is a fucking moron.
I was going to suggest, Bob, that Otis is your upstairs neighbor. and you assume it's Otis, but it's actually Ryan or Derek, who's just like making noise at all hours of the night.
But what I'm wondering,
all through the day, I guess, while you're trying to sleep.
And so I'm a little more confrontational, not confrontational, but like more like, what the fuck are you doing here? Kind of
Gotcha.
attitude towards. And so I think, and if we've said this, I missed it, but I think there needs to be something with Otis that like he's got some sort of information or a hold or something that galvanizes his place in our haven. I don't know. What do you think, Otis?
Okay, let me give you something about Nosferatu, okay, Otis? Nosferatu in the vampire world are like the internet.
And that's what Otis is, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
They know everything.
Okay.
The connections
That
are
fits then.
the connections are insane. Because you've got not only like the whole underground connection system, you've got the shadow play, right? You've got so like hiding in plain sight, listening to people being moles. You got like the rat bat animal network, and they also have their own like server called ShrekNet.
No, it's not.
It is. It's called ShrekNet. Named after one of the Nosferatu, and it's like a SCHRECK or whatever. But that's a huge part of the storyline for modern times. Actually, is that the Second Inquisition was able to tap into ShrekNet before it was able to be taken down, and they gathered a lot of vampire intel, and was able to start doing raids and stuff like that.
So that's not like a wired internet. It's like a telepathic.
No, it's an internet server.
Oh, okay.
It was a private. It was a
okay. So it's an actual like
server.
Electronic internet like we know it now. Okay.
Yeah. So what you know is that it was infiltrated by the Second Inquisition, which is a group of various groups of mortals who are become aware of vampires through the Masquerade breach. Okay. And so they were able to tap into ShrekNet, and then when it was discovered, it was all disassembled and torn down and taken offline. So like the Nosferatu are struggling right now to like still keep the same kind of records and notes and communications that they used to, and are resorting to more like primitive means again, right? More analog means. But all that to say, if you want to be like an information person, totally on the table.
Now we have to do dead drops, and we always use DVD copies of the movie Shrek.
Yeah,
as your information. So you just
it's
called ShrekNet, but it's spelled different.
Right. Okay, so Corvin, your relationship to, or not relationship to, just what do you think about Bob? Are you going with it's just business? Do you think anything of him at all? I'm just gonna put it's just business for everything.
Right now, yeah, I think that'll develop.
Yeah,
but I kind of want that to be where it starts.
Okay, same for Otis.
Yeah.
Do you think anything about like his intellect or anything like that?
I think I could take advantage of him a little bit more.
Okay.
I've also got a partial suggestion that Otis, with the people he's comfortable with, talks too fucking much. And I think I want to say like Corvin's a little older. Like when Otis first came to Indianapolis, you maybe took him under your wing a little bit, and then at some point realized like, okay, this guy's like a little too much, and like he does know a lot, and that's really useful. But God, if I let him in my fucking office, he won't leave. And so you've like moved me further and further down the hall as you've
like
just
the staple guy in Office Space.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that would make sense. That would make sense then why I have conflict with Otis, because he's essential because he's got the special skill for the ShrekNet, but kind of would you say Otis was kind of mouthy? Is that
talks too
much?
He
just
talks too much. Right. Yeah.
Wordy.
Oh, you're talking about like in person, not necessarily spilling secrets or talking.
Yeah, he's a little annoying.
Just okay.
He's just socially like kind of
okay.
Weird.
I should give everyone else a piece of information about your character as well that you didn't share, and that is that he smells awful.
Otis?
Otis does?
You selected it. You selected it. Otis.
Oh no!
Yeah, I forgot about it.
So he has a stench like Bane, pretty much. Even vampires thinks he smells bad.
How many dots do you have for that one?
But Derek has no problem with it.
Derek has no issues. Derek is a gross ass. Yeah, it's actually called stench. It's your breath and body odor are supernaturally foul.
Hell yeah.
Like open graves or rotting flesh. Even Nosferatu object to your stink. Yeah, so it's gonna hurt your stealth pools.
Not in this city.
Right. Okay, so Otis, your take on Bob.
Oh, my take on Bobby. I think definitively he has not noticed that Bob seems to have some disdain for him. And so I think all positive all the time. And because you're a man, he probably assumes that you like talking about like game hunting. And so he just is like talking to you about like
deer hunting and
some deer that he used to hunt when he was like growing up in the
all right. And your take on Corvin.
I think Corvin he views Corvin as the way that a common person might view nobility. Like he's just like he owns a building. Like how is that even possible?
You're gonna make Corvin think too much of himself.
He's like so he really super looks up to Corvin, probably more than he actually deserves.
All right. Okay. So what else we got?
I've just realized we're talking about like this grim, dark vampire setting, and I'm like all positive all the time.
Hey, you're our little ray of sunshine.
Yeah.
You're like the SpongeBob SquarePants of our group.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's talk about and I could try to. I know we're getting a little later. I can try to go quicker here and wrap it up. But Otis and Bob, how do you guys get money?
Oh, shit.
So my thought and the way I tried to kind of set my character up is through like trickery, insider trading. Like I understand business because I was, I worked in one. Probably not to the degree that Corvin does because he owns one, but just have a general understanding of how business works. But I also have like on my character sheet, like, and I don't remember all the names of it, but essentially like the ability to influence people and the ability to kind of be sneaky. And so I gather information and I profit off of that. I don't know if that's too vague or not.
Oh, let's talk a little bit about it more. Instead of trading, et cetera, you have accounts?
Yes.
Okay.
I would think so, yeah.
Because that's how under what alias? Because you're dead.
But I still exist though, don't I?
Bob Vandehex is dead with no social security number, et cetera. You have digital accounts, bank accounts, things like that?
Okay.
Did they...
Am I allowed to?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think that's part of my intrigue is that I'm able to have human accounts. I don't know if I'm making myself too like Jason Bourne.
No, you can have human accounts, but what that'll give us, I think, is like one. I think it'll give us like a let's look at your character sheet. What's your like technology skills and stuff at?
Let me look.
Intelligence is 3. That's good. Academics 2 with a specialty. Finance 3. You have nothing in technology. Ooh, that's not great. Okay, so
oh darn it!
I'd say for
supposed to be the tech guy.
Yeah. Okay. I'd say for this, we'll establish for you. We'll need to establish a human contact. That's like a fixer,
Would that be
right?
that? Will that so that
You've got someone who's going to set you up with. You're going to have like a tech, like an underground kind of tech person. This is going to be another person that like is accessible to everybody as like a.
and I need to develop that.
No, we can work to do it together.
Okay.
I think it makes the most sense if this is a human that does business out of Union 86.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we'll need to do. Okay, so you would need an alias that you can develop yourself. And I will make a note to add a new character.
So is the deal with turning or the embrace is that you get bit, sucked dry, but you're dead long enough to like have a funeral and get, removed from society? Or
well, I guess okay. No, it doesn't have to be that way actually. With you guys, let me backtrack on you, Bob, because that's a good question. I forget that he was turned in 2012. It's going to be a situation for the two of you. Since you're older, you had like an existence. I mean, you were recorded as a veteran or as a war vet, right?
Mhm.
And you probably didn't return. Or I mean, you returned, but then you would have been like eventually you should be deceased by now, right?
Right.
Or at least you went missing.
Well, I mean, I was born in the 40s. That's not that old, but like I see your point.
Yeah. So we can, I mean, you've not been around for decades as a human. So unless you were like smart enough to kind of keep that masquerade up, you probably would have an alias if you needed something like that.
Mhm.
Same for Corvin. But Bob, you can keep your identity if you didn't have enough connections to be noticed as deceased. So that's your call.
It's like if you went on a business trip and got, turned into a vampire and you didn't have close connections,
exactly,
like checking on you that at that time, you feel like you could.
So nobody knows I'm gone.
That would be your sitch that you'd have to role play through. Yeah, that's my miss. I just forgot that you were such a noob, such a fledgling.
Yeah, because the other two, they could have.
I still want to create this fixer. That's a good character.
So they could have. So Corvin and Otis, because they got embraced earlier in time, where falsifying documents was a little easier.
I think
is that what I'm hearing?
I think what he's saying is like after you got turned, you got about 10 to 15 years before people start to notice that you haven't aged. And then you got to move around or whatever. Because like, my character looks 24 and is 80 something.
I see.
Yeah. And then you're also going to like eventually by like official records, you'd reach a suspicious expiration date.
Right. And Doge will cut you off after 300 years.
Yeah. So you want to go with keep your counts. Okay. Nobody knows you're dead yet.
Yes, if we can.
All right, so you had Evangeline, right? Evangelina, no other friends, no family.
She's the love of his life. That's all he needs.
Because if you're gonna try to maintain that you're still alive, we need to know if there's gonna cause any role play opportunities.
Well, I think we need to know. We need to know from you.
So
how long does the process take?
What process?
The embrace.
Oh, it's like instant.
This is like, a week-long business trip. You get turned and,
Well,
but you never went home, Bob.
Right. So Evangeline left prior. So she just
5 years ago. You said that.
Right. So she left, packed up. She started a new life elsewhere. So she's
You came on a trip to Indy.
Yes.
We're turned while you're here.
Yes.
And we're renting, had a home. What?
Yeah. So
that you abandoned or had to deal with at some point.
Let's say renting and I just abandoned. Just skipped out on rent.
All right. And did you have any contacts that would care to look into you?
No, only
Or
child.
You're just that
Parents
much
had passed
you're
away.
just that much of a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Total loser.
Had no friends or family.
Oh,
I mean, I want to make it interesting. I feel
Or
like
pets.
I feel like that's a cop. I feel like it's a cop out.
I don't think that there's room in the middle. I think what Kenneth is saying is like he'd like to see a little more,
Yeah.
a few more characters on your character map, which is, I mean, I haven't thought about them either, Bob, so don't like stress about it, right? But like, am I misreading the situation there again?
Hey, you're creating your character and your story. I'm just asking questions that I think matter.
Just asking questions. Yeah.
I'm just asking the questions that would need to be answered in your own life.
It's like, did you have to explain to anybody why you moved?
Yeah. So let me have.
I'll give you a reason. I'll give you a reason on this real quick before you guys answer questions like this. Anything that you don't tell me, right, becomes my territory once the game starts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you guys can add as much as you want, right? For sure. I'm not just saying I'm like some power hungry god, but I am. Just anything. All that's really to say is anything that's not like set in stone is up for grabs. So like, and that could be cool, or you might not like it. I mean, hopefully you would like it. The point is for me to let you guys have fun. But if you're like, oh, I don't really know, maybe, then I'll go, okay, well then maybe I'll just bring someone from your past life in for you to deal with, and we could deal with that as part of a story.
Okay.
Do you want it to be like that, or do you want to say I had nobody?
I think I want to have a sibling. Like parents are gone, but I have a sibling that I don't know. Ooh, well, I mean, that would solve the banking problem.
Oh my God, you guys could do the Prestige.
What's that?
Oh, Prince Delacroix has a twin.
If you don't know, I'm not going to tell you,
Okay.
and not because of you. It's because it's a spoiler for a thing that someday you're going to thank me for not spoiling it.
Okay. I mean, what do you think about that? Like having a twin, and that's my way to that my twin knows I've been turned or embraced. Sorry, I want to use the right word. And
turned is what we call it.
They help with those sorts of things, like where they need to be Bob Van de Hex.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do that. That's getting into, I think, retainer territory, where we'd have to give you a three level retainer, and then if they're gonna do things for you, right?
Right. So that would be the point, is they can act as me.
Yep, you can do all that. Logistically, just put it on your sheet as a level 3 retainer, and then balance it with negatives.
You also could conceivably have a starting condition where, hey, I have a twin brother, but I haven't spoken to him much since I moved out here because we weren't super close. But then at some point, that leaves the door open to use that as a plot point.
Yeah,
the spoilies for the show.
Yep, true. You could also say like that you abandoned your twin and he's been trying to get a hold of you and you've been evading him, and then maybe he finds you at some point.
Yeah.
Or
we could have a moment like,
and then you've got to deal with how you approach it.
Well, like what happened to me in real life, where you didn't know that your friend had a twin, and so you made a big weird scene about bumping into a friend. Then it turned out to be your twin that you didn't know about.
Yeah,
something like that.
Or you could not know you had a brother, and then you did 20.
Yeah,
21 to me.
23 to me.
Yeah, 23 and me. 24 and me.
21 and me.
24 and me needs to be a reality TV show.
That was one of those phrases I was just gonna silently type into gamer chats. Then you just said it out loud with your
Sorry, that shit is not funny, you guys. If you can make Down with Love, you can make 24 Me.
Wait, is Down with Love already a thing?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called, isn't it?
Wow.
It's like a reality love Down syndrome TV show. I think it's called that.
That would be a great name for a TV show if it were.
Yeah, Down with the Sickness. That's what it's called. I'm just
Oh no, not that.
Yeah. Down with Love TV show. Okay, cool. So what's the route here? What's the route? Is it like you taking him as a retainer, or are we bringing him in as a story?
What's the more fun thing to do?
Story. Here we go. Has a sibling that is a twin.
Yeah.
And
He's
doesn't
gonna
know.
die. Bob, your twin's gonna die unless you make him a retainer.
Or a child. That could be cool. Okay.
Ken, you were excited to flesh out this fixer here.
Yeah, I'll do that. I need to do that outside of this meeting.
Okay, all right, okay.
I'll get him added in there. Okay. You all awaken one night in your respective rooms. Okay.
Derek is snoring.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Yeah. Oh, he's still awake. You know, Derek he's still awake. He's playing the new Oblivion remastered.
Yeah, he is.
You know. Oh, hey, what's up, brother? Dan, you might need to consider taking a shower, man. It smells like it's seriously been a while. Like I usually don't mind, but
Derek, I don't think you paid attention during character creation when I specifically said you did not notice the smell. Am I sleepy? Wait, what time of day is it?
Night.
Nightfall. Yeah.
Oh, and then I'm wide awake then.
Yeah, you pop up. I'm not gonna make you guys rouse the blood right now, but typically you would upon rising rouse the blood. But it was just a quick story introduction.
Derek,
is that a vampire boner?
Yeah, look, hey man, like I always say, I usually don't notice the Otis, but when I do, bro, this is not good. So, and plus, man, I don't know if you've seen it, but I mean, I know we don't keep the cleanest place, but I even saw like a couple rats going in and out of your room last night, man. You might want to take care of that.
Well, first of all, Derek, we do sleep in the same room, and
sorry, I forgot, bro. You want to take a rip of this?
You're on the top bunk. Wait, I'm on the top bunk. I'm just a little guy.
You're in the bunker. You'd probably die during the day.
Okay, we don't sleep in the same room because I do sleep in a coffin.
Yeah, you sleep in a different room that is locked. Hey, bud, you want to get a little light in here? Right. I don't know if that's what you want. But yeah, you had rats going in his room, but it was the strangest thing, man. Like Whiskey didn't seem to mind at all, and I thought he would be pouncing on those little fuckers, you know?
Oh no, Whiskey, he's getting I don't know if he can see too good. Anyway, I'll call the rat exterminator when I get a chance I've got like a cordless phone on the wall, so I'll look him up. And I got the yellow pages there.
Okay. Intending to call an exterminator?
Oh, I'm not intending to do it. I'm just talking
him
that, so he'll leave me alone.
Okay, well, Derek gets back to kind of playing his game. You know, his character creation. He's creating a middle-aged blonde woman with just huge boobs and disproportionate waist, and putting no clothes or armor on her whatsoever. And he's chuckling about it, right? She's an orc lady with big teeth.
He's really stuck on the genital selection screen.
He really is. He's a genital selection screen. Bob, you wake up and you rouse the blood. You get your blood going. Just a little bit hungry, but nothing unmanageable. You notice there's it looks like something in your room. You get a feeling something in your room has been messed with. but you can't quite pinpoint it at this point in the actual gameplay. I'd ask you to make a roll, but we're not fuck with that right now. I just want to prime you for what gameplay would be like. And as you kind of gain more of your senses and you get your blood moving more, you notice that there is a piece of graffiti spray painted on the wall inside of your sleeping room. Somebody was able to come in during the day and spray paint.
Otis was here.
Yeah, they spray painted a rat with the curly Q tail and a red V. Okay,
Wait, is that for real? A rat,
a curly Q tail and a red V. All right. Corvin.
Mm-hmm.
You awake? Where'd you?
Do I respond to that, or do I?
We were all turned by
by
women vampires.
Oh, look at that, guys!
No,
not Mothman.
No, not the Mothman.
Indrid.
Mothman, bro.
His name is Indrid. I don't know what to tell you.
All right.
Corvin, I don't know much about your sleeping quarters.
Okay.
You have like a basement, a back room. What you got going on? The other two are in rooms that are like vampired up from your special like arrangement. But what's your situation?
I'm gonna say it's like a basement room underneath of the office.
Pam Anderson.
Yeah.
Okay. And you want to give a quick name to your retainer?
Oh, the retainer. Let's.
Are we just call him retainer for now?
Yeah.
Okay,
how about Mr. Tainer?
Smart.
Mr. Tainter.
No.
Mr. Tanner. Okay.
Yeah.
So you wake up and then in typical fashion, you've got there's a yellow like ledger book opened up to like the next day, dated at the top, signed Mr. Tainer with today's date on it. And just a list of any kind of contacts you had over the course of the day, any kind of business dealings that he did. Shackles wanted to share the screen. Tell me it's something disruptive. Let's see. Oh no, you're good. Just dumped it on Mr. Tainer. He set up multiple. This is gonna be one of those situations where I need to learn to not grant you screen access or during the course of a game.
What? I'm adding emojis.
Yeah. So yeah, add your emoji. That's fine. Oh, these are the vampires. Actually, I kind of like that, Mr. Cummins Tainer. I don't know. All right. It is funny and adds flavor, but please undo your own puns as well. So it don't get lost here. Okay. So there's a list of people who've checked in and out, people who've paid rent, people who are behind. You see that Derek and Otis are still behind on their monthly rent. Bob has paid 3 months in advance. You had a couple people coming in and out, and there's also a special note that a few of your tenants have complained about an increase in rat problems occurring.
I thought you were gonna say a stink.
No, just an increase in the rat problems. And that it wasn't sure if it wasn't sure if it's your kind of thing or a typical infestation, and to just kind of like leave a note to get back with him or talk to him when he returns for his nightly dealings. Bob, any response from you
about the graffiti?
About anything. You can wake up and jerk off if you want.
Well, that's a
rat.
All I did was set a scene. If you like it that much, it's your deal.
Curly tail.
Yeah. So I immediately probably think that Otis is up to it. So I want to find out, like, when did he go to bed? Did he go to bed after me? Did he before or whatever? So my first suspicion is that Otis did some dumb shit.
Check the cameras.
Check the cameras. Sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's up to you to go ask Otis that sort of thing.
So do I ask Otis then?
Yeah, I'm assuming you know where he lives. I mean, what do you want to do? You want to go to
Otis? God damn it! Did you get into my room and fuck around?
All right, cool. So this is where you'd say, like, okay, I'm going to go to Otis's.
Okay, I'm going to go to Otis's apartment.
Okay, Otis, you hear a knock at the door. Pow, pow,
pow. Oh, just a minute. And you hear banging around, and Otis comes to the door, and he's wearing like ratty jeans and no shirt. I have a quick question, Kenneth.
Yes.
When you said the thing about rats going into my room, I immediately assumed that these were just my rat pals because of who I am. Do I now, on further listening, I assume that the rats maybe are a separate problem from just me being a nasty motherfucker?
Oh, yeah, and they may not be a problem at all.
Yeah, I guess what I'm asking is, when he said that about rats, was I like, oh, that's Romulus and Remus and they're my rat friends, or was this not something I recognized?
No, we'll say that you didn't pay much attention to it just because you're used to that sort of thing. But now
not aware of rats, especially.
Yes, correct. It wasn't unusual to you, but it's no one you know in particular. But now that he's asking, you're like, actually, there were some rats in here, and there's typically not in your spaces as well. So that might bear further investigation.
Okay, so they're not my pets, is what I'm saying. So I open the door and I don't have a shirt on. Mr. Vanderhicks. Good morning, sir.
Did you get in my goddamn room and paint graffiti in my room?
No, sir.
Just fucking tell me.
No, I didn't do that. I don't think I did that. I was drinking last. Wait, can I be drunk?
You're perpetually drunk.
I think at most you could have fed from someone who's heavily intoxicated and it has some kind of effect on you, but you wouldn't have been like drunk last night. No.
Okay, well I retract my statement about being drunk. My mistake.
Did your goddamn boyfriend do something? You set him up.
Bob, are you like a homophobe? Is Bob Vanderhicks a homophobe?
You're the most recently born of all of us.
Yeah, didn't you grow up in this century? What the hell, man?
All right.
I'm bad. I'm trying to stick the knife in and twist it.
Yeah.
No, I ain't done nothing, man. I was just
Did you set Derek up to do it for you?
Oh, Derek, no, he ain't left the apartment in like 3 days. Don't you worry about Derek.
Okay.
No, it wasn't me. What kind of graffiti you got?
It's a. Would you say it was a rat with a V on it?
Yep.
A red V.
Damn! I saw that movie.
Okay, so at this point, hey, if you have your character sheet, let's have you do a roll, Otis. Okay. So we'll have you click a roll. We'll have you do wits plus where are we at here? Streetwise.
Who are you talking to?
You.
Oh, me. Wits plus streetwise. Let's all find out how to use this software in real time.
So you should click wits and then click
wits over here. Tell me what to do.
Or actually, if you go to the dots section of clicking that, you'll see like a little dice hover. Click wits.
Yeah.
Okay, and then go ahead and click the 2 on streetwise.
Streetwise, huh? Yeah, and that's of course that's in this
in
the over here.
Social.
Right, clearly.
Yep. Now go down to your roll. Go down to your roll there. You do have 1 point of hunger. So go to your center section there.
So hungry.
No. We're under expand.
Oh, nards.
And click add 1 point of hunger in the middle of your character sheet.
Middle of my character sheet.
Under humanity.
Get your power.
1 point of hunger.
Zip, zap, zap. All right.
Okay. So you have your dice pool now, you'll see is 3 plus 2, because that's your 3 from wits and 2 plus streetwise.
Yeah.
I don't know how, if it click to add hunger and see what that does. Okay. Now roll.
Ooh, so many successes.
So you've got 4, 5, 6, or 5 total successes as it has your total there. Okay. So Otis, you immediately recognize this as the Nosferatu mark from Father Scab's church.
Oh, damn, I know that guy. I say out loud.
Yeah. So there, you know a lot about your clan. You know they would have had no problem getting someone into and out of Bob's room, and this rat in particular, based on the way it is facing and the way its tail is, could mean a couple of different things in what they're trying to communicate to you, but you have not seen it yourself.
And you're
talking
to Otis, right?
Yeah,
me.
Otis.
Okay.
So in order to further interpret what the actual message is, you'll either need to see it or get a description from Bob.
I assumed that I just walked out down the stairs and that we're looking at it.
Oh, if you guys have gone together, that's fine.
Well, we're standing at the door still, aren't we?
That's what I thought. That's fine. Let's just say.
So he tells me
in the notebook.
Yeah.
So he's told me that I've described it to him, and he says, "Oh yeah, that does sound familiar." Correct?
Yeah.
And that he needs to go see it to determine what it means.
Right. Yep.
Correct.
And the right, and the rat is facing to the right.
Okay. So all right. Well, Otis, come down to my room. Let me show you what's there.
Okay. So Otis.
Yes.
You have a really good streetwise understanding of the graffiti code, specifically that pertaining to Nosferatu, and you know that this indicates that a message has been left by one of Father Scab's informants, and that has been left for you.
For me specifically, because I'm a nosy Nosferatu.
Yeah. So the curly tail is indicating that a message has been left, not a message is required, and that the rat facing to the right is indicating that it's a level relationship person to Bob. Whereas the Nosferatu your friends would consider Corvin to be in a position of power over him as his landlord. So it's facing to the right. That is the message to you. That's just the way they communicate that, like, in relation to Bob, this is a equal level relationship person to him. So you will immediately recognize that as yourself.
I'm already regretting that I didn't play that character from Monty Python that has the long rant about a collectivist government. Vote for you.
Yeah. So what you guys do know now, which again, I just don't want to hit you with tons of knowledge and lore at the very beginning of the game before we start playing. One major way that vampires communicate to each other throughout the city is through art and graffiti. And all of the clans have like different codes and things like that they will spray paint or like post up, fake bills for shows and things like that to communicate for the people who know what they're looking at. They can interpret that sort of thing. So there's a message left for you somewhere, Otis.
Okay, and the
rest
of that message is that I need to go get Scabby.
So Corvin, at this point, you exit and you see these two walking out of Bob's apartment.
So Bob took Otis to his apartment.
Right.
Correct.
Otis intruded, I think, is probably what happened.
And you see them walking out as you were walking out, just to kind of get a look at this, like as you do at night, the state of like what's happening at the motel, how populated are we? Specifically, are there rats coming from somewhere? What's this deal?
Yeah, so I'm assuming that because of our connection here, that I have maybe a little bit more of a rapport with them than my other tenants.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
And you've probably known Otis for a couple of decades.
Okay. Hey, fellas. Mr. Tainer, he left me a note that we got some rats to deal with. You guys seen anything?
No, not in my end.
Wait, I know you haven't seen any. I sure hope you haven't seen any.
Oh, I guess
he.
I don't know. I guess he hasn't seen rats,
unless Otis put it there.
I'm sorry, I thought you were just lying, but
you're
being technical.
And I high five Grimshaw. So I heard about some rats. Looking around real quick, do I see any rats?
Yeah, the same two that you saw running around in the morning are kind of like standing on the stairs, looking at you, kind of hopping around.
Okay. I silently point at them, and then I just, for my pals, because I don't want them running off. And then I would like to attempt to communicate with them.
Okay, so what's your role for that? That's charisma. Go to your discipline.
Rhythm.
Pharaoh whispers. That's your charisma. Do charisma plus animalism. Good. So since you have a hunger, your hunger die applied automatically. That's what it should have been like last time. So both of you guys, actually, Bob and Corvin, you guys need to check a hunger on your character sheets as well.
I do. Okay.
Yeah, because it replaces one of your other die, not gets added to. Anyway, so roll that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I have 2 charisma, and then it replaces one of those charisma. Is that what you're saying?
It replaces one die in your roll. Yeah. Every point of hunger you have replaces one of your dice, and those can't be re-rolled with a willpower spend. So it's a little bit of it kind of hurts you.
Okay.
Double whammy.
Now, why am I adding and reducing hunger points?
You're adding a hunger because you woke up.
Okay, got you.
Because you've refused to kill Derek.
I'm so woke. I'm hungry.
Yeah. So you got 1 success here. So that's enough. It's a simple message.
Hey there, little guy.
Squeak, squeak. So from Bob, Corvin,
What do you say, Otis?
your perspective, and this is not weird to you, okay? You know that this happens in your vampire world, okay? So you hear him squeaking like Ratatouille up to Otis. Otis, he just says, the message is room 14, Mr. Grimshaw.
What do you say, Otis?
Oh, he said, room 14, Mr. Grimshaw.
Corvin, you remember room 14 being one of the rooms that was rented last night that was left for you in your notes from Mr. Tanner.
Like a short term, long term. What's he just left a note about it?
Yeah, it's a short term, just a one night hotel
shit,
motel stay.
Looks like I probably got something to clean up. We haven't had rats like this.
It's gonna be a murder scene.
So I start walking to room 14.
Okay. What about the 2 of you? You going with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. You approach room 14. All of the curtains are drawn closed. You can't tell anything from the outside. You obviously have a key to get in.
Yep.
I guess you're entering.
Jingle.
Before we go,
I'm just gonna enter in.
I did whistle and call Whiskey to come with me because he does everywhere I go.
Okay, Whiskey's present.
Whiskey.
So you open up the door, lights are off. You're immediately hit with the smell of death.
Ah,
right.
shit.
What's that, Bob? What are you saying?
Some spoiled blood.
Can we have weapons? I guess we don't really need those, do we?
It's not secret.
I don't know.
I am a weapon.
I mean,
I just don't remember you saying you were picking up any weapons in the morning. So you wake up and walk outside. You could be naked, as far as I know. But you're learning. Would you typically have woken up and if you need to go talk to Otis, like strapped yourself?
I'm thinking that at this point, it feels like something weird is going on. So I have this
and don't forget
reflex to kind of be ready for conflict.
We are vampires.
Don't forget that you are a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you might not care that much about a normal everyday circumstance like this to get strapped,
true.
you know?
Right. Okay.
I've played like maybe one role-playing game. So I'm gonna meta here for a second. It's really fucking boring when everybody's like, I check for traps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it okay?
You know,
all right.
Like
okay.
It's a little it gets a little boring.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Yep.
Yeah. So he's right. We don't want to overcheck things. We don't want to roll for everything either. Just like when it matters.
Oh,
right?
okay. Okay.
Just like when you're looking for some rats.
I run a respectable establishment, and we don't get rats like this.
That's right.
All right. So we just got the stench of death, is what you said.
Yeah. As soon as you open the door, the stench of death.
Otis, you've been hanging out in here again.
Also, before they opened the door, it's just stench everywhere.
All the lights are off inside, and as the door opens, it reveals just like a scene of carnage. Okay, there's 4 bodies completely all dismembered.
No.
blood all over the place.
They still got this. They still got anything in them?
Nothing that you're gonna want. You got to have the live blood. You know this much, right?
Oh, you can't box them.
And
Store 'em for later?
there is a person that is stripped down, completely naked, with their back to you, tied hands behind their back to a chair, sitting in the middle of the room, also covered in blood, and trying to freak
Alive?
out. Their mouth is obviously, they're alive. Their mouth is obviously covered with something like some kind of tape. You think they're like freaking out now that they've heard somebody come in, but they're unable to really move or do anything.
Is this continental breakfast? I didn't know we were doing this now, Corbin.
So they've got their back to us.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of walk my way over the carnage to kind of get a look at their face.
I'll check for traps.
Sure. Yep.
I just want to see if I recognize them
fun of
from
me.
checking in the day before.
I'm not Bob.
Okay. So you walk around to get a look at their face. Not only have their eyes been removed, they've been supernaturally closed shut with skin from their forehead closing down over their eyes. They actually have nothing covering their mouth because their mouth has also been closed over. They've only been left one big open hole in their nose, which has been sculpted out in a way that is almost kind of appealing.
Perfect pocket pussy.
Yeah, it's almost like it's been very carefully crafted into almost like an open flower kind of look that opens the hole directly back down into their throat to breathe from, and not necessarily carved into their skin, but almost like their veins and arteries have been maneuvered and positioned on the outside of their body to spell out, "Hello, Corvin, I've missed you. We need to talk again."
Fuck, it's fucking Morningstar.
Oh, what you mean? Who else could? You don't know anyone else who can do that?
When you said the face was sculpted, I was like, that bitch.
And
oh no,
This is where we're going to start session 1.
Hell
Okay.
yeah!
When we begin.
Skill to do all that.
So for today, everybody can take 2 experience points.
Ooh, so I
In
click
addi-
on
in
that and just
addition
say
to what
bump,
you've
bump.
given earlier.
Yeah, that's gonna be your end of session 0 experience. Typically you'll get 1, but you guys did such a great job.
I've got like 18 now because I started with 15 from age.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can spend.
I've got 4.
Here's what I want to happen for spending experience points. Okay, I would love for it to be not just min maxing, which you all know what min maxing is, right? Okay, min maxing is just like pumping up your best stats to get like the best like meta character you can get. Okay, let's think about what you want to update or what you want to like level up, and role play that happening.
Okay.
Before you spend the points, right? So like if you're gonna want to pump up your let's say larceny, go steal a car in one night that we play, and then like and here's why I got better at it, and then level it up.
Okay.
Make it make sense, right?
So it's not like I put a level in charisma because I needed that for my core skills.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, like go make something charismatic happen. Go sleep.
Okay. So I want to increase my politics. Maybe I bribed a local official to violate a zoning code or something.
Yeah, and you can let me know at the start of a session. You're like, okay, I think I'm going to spend this on politics. Then we'll go to the Union 86 and we'll make something happen.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Right.
Fun.
All right.
Banger.
I do like that it's not, I appreciate your storytelling as always.
Oh,
I mean,
that we're not just rolling dice and, I like rolling dice, but it is kind of fun to live through a story a little bit.
Yeah, and if you guys want to physically roll dice because it's more fun, I mean, I'll trust you. We don't have to show it on screen. I mean, I only showed Otis's the whole time anyway.
But like these are special dice that have like symbols on them. And
it's a lot of
shit.
work to.
Right.
They don't have to be, but it's a lot easier to. I mean, you just got to know it's basically 6 to 10 are success, 1 to 5 are fails.
And
Oh.
and even if you had the regular dice, it's all like symbol based, and you got to like add faces and cancel faces and stuff like that. So I
Right.
think dice roller is really the way to go.
Yeah.
It is,
particularly-
well, and plus it automatically factors in your hunger dice.
Yeah.
On rolls
No,
where
no, no.
you do factor it, and rolls where you don't, it
This is
doesn't.
really
so
cool.
you don't have to remember all that. It's
This is
good
really
to do.
cool. Yeah.
But here, when I roll a real die, feel free to roll the die.
Okay.
Sometimes it just feels right.
And actually, so we'll keep you all at 1 hunger just because, but basically it's not a wake up, gain a hunger, it's wake up, rouse the blood, which
Mhm.
is rousing the blood is rolling a single die. 6 or higher, you're good. 1 to 5, you get a little more hungry.
Yeah, hungry.
So you would add it. Okay, so we're gonna start our next session at this scene in the bloody room
Right here.
right
Yeah.
here. So we're not waking up again.
You
Okay.
won't be waking up again. No.
All right. Cool,
But
cool.
if you'll need to be aware of a couple things, like if you want to look at all human and pass for living, you have to do something called blush of life once per night. Okay, that is it's a rouse the blood roll that makes your heart pump blood through your body. It gives you a little more color. It makes you a passable human at like detectors at airports and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Makes you able to touch a screen.
Oh, we can't otherwise.
No, you can't. You can't use like a iPhone or anything.
Oh fuck. Well, that's fine. I use a button push phone. Yeah.
Motorola
push to
Razr.
talk.
So we can make that if you want. It can be like an automatic thing if you know that you want to always do blush of life. We can just include it with your rouse roll in the morning and just like roll twice.
Okay.
Instead of like, oh, you forgot blush of life today. Although it could be kind of funny though sometimes.
I got it
If
with
you're
the
like-
blush.
If you're like, okay, I'm just gonna get my phone out and call this dude. I'm like, weird. You like tried to call, but like it didn't register. For some reason, you can't get the screen to turn on. You're like, fuck, blush of life. Oh, I'm hungry, and then I'm gonna frenzy.
I'm imagining these two boomers and then this hillbilly guy, and all three of us are just walking down the street with our phones out and in our hand going, "Hey Siri, send text message to Father Scab." Why you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I will say also communicating about vampire things overtly through internet connected devices is also a breach of the masquerade that if you get discovered of is punishable. So be careful with that.
Punish me, daddy.
Is there anything you guys want to add to the relationship map? Anything that you learned? I actually already added something to the connection between Bob and Otis. I added Bob is hostile towards Otis.
I thought that was there before he got hostile.
No,
Did you add that?
I
during?
added it because he was very hostile.
I was like, damn, you guys are doing this good. And you were
Otis
just
was-
writing down
yeah.
what was happening.
Otis was
didn't-
surprisingly chill.
Otis didn't notice.
Well, he's happy about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were, Corbin, just business.
I'm trying.
We got some actors on this squad, man.
Yeah.
That's really good. All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to achieve.
Fucking Morning Star.
Dr. Profstein says, "Hey Siri, look up SPF 1000 sunscreen."
Wait, somebody
That's
chatted
quite
that?
good. Yeah, somebody chatted that. Hey, I got a quick question about blood for you. Feeding. I need to know a little bit about feeding rules. I feel like it's come up quite a few times. So we need living hosts.
Yeah.
Do we? I assume that we're able to feed but not kill.
You can feed without killing, yeah. But you will it takes effort. The more hungry you are, the more challenging it is to stop. And also if you're not killing things, you're almost never getting completely satiated. You'd be living with a little bit of hunger. You can feed from animals, but they don't satiate as much. So these are all like rules on like how much blood you get per and how long it takes you, and the longer you feed, the more blood you can get, et cetera, et cetera.
We got
You guys are ready. Yeah, when you're ready, I've got it on my screen.
You
my
got a DM screen?
I got
Nice. Ooh la la.
Yeah,
A lot of
you can
glare.
drink from blood bags.
Oh,
But
God,
if
can I
you
get a job at the blood bank and just be sitting out the freezer?
yeah, you can. So the only way to reach hunger zero is to take a life.
Well, that seems worthwhile. It's just one life.
Yeah. Take it as you will.
And then so
A human life.
if you feast upon someone and don't kill them, what do they remember? Like, what is that experience like for you?
Okay. You can take so much blood from them that it causes them like aggravated damage, or they have to go to the hospital, or they might die later anyway. But for the most part, you drink from the human, you lick the wound, it will disappear magically. And they during the feeding, if you approach it the right way, or if you don't have like any kind of afflictions or anything that cause it to be a problem, they'll interpret it as like maybe sensual, maybe like being like really tripped out on a drug. They might remember it like they just drank too much and don't quite remember what happened last night. So you can approach it well, you can approach it poorly. You can like really shred somebody open and not worry about it. It's kind of all in how you do it. Also, they have different resonances in their blood based on like what's going on with them, or like their mood, or if they're on drugs and things, and that can affect your disciplines. It can power you up a different way and make you feel differently as well.
Ooh, can we keep people in bottles and use them as potions?
Like, can you bottle their blood?
No, can I put the person in a bottle?
In a big ass bottle? You want to shrink the person?
I'd like to squish the person, but I guess you did tell me that they need to be living.
Yeah. It's like the Tim and Eric is like, can you put the universe in a bag? If you got the universe in a bag. Yeah. So that's a lot about eating people.
I love it.
Can my character have Tourette's?
What? Because you do
like slurs at random times,
so you can act like you're role playing.
Fuck. I'm kidding.
Yep.
Well, gang, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
I'm gonna pick up some rats as roadie sodies.
A couple of roadie sodies.
We'll be back in 6 months.
Seriously.
Right. 2 weeks. I could even go for a week. Okay. Anyway. 2
Well,
weeks.
I mean, I assume that's based on a normal schedule. You tell me.
Yeah. Or if this doesn't have to be on like a specific night of the week, I can try and make whatever work.
All right. Well, let's keep chatting about that. Also, I want to deal with the extra coterie details in the Discord. Okay. I feel like that'd be a slog to like.
Yeah.
How many rooms are in this multifamily apartment?
Right.
Is
cool.
it zoned for multifamily, or is it just
cool?
Just to make sure, in case anybody missed it.
That's the dark pack.
This is the dark pack. Ooh. We're allowed to do this shit. So if you're watching from World of Darkness, you're like, they can't do this because they haven't shown the dark pack. We did.
We showed it,
and we sexually harassed it earlier.
That's the dark pack. This is the light pack.
The light pack. That's a logo that we have, because normally we have a book club. I don't know if you guys noticed, but
this is the rat pack.
We went straight to. Did we hit 1 million viewers at one time? Did I see?
Yeah,
that?
that's how we got Menards to be our sponsor.
It's pretty tight. Yeah, don't forget to save big money at Menards. Don't forget to go to laysomepipe.com for all of your smoking pot needs. That's LAYSUMPIPE.com. It would be super cool if you
actually we really should make that. We really should list that as a pipe sponsor as a show sponsor, and same for Tints and Tones.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, so that's okay. Put that on our side list of things to do, both of us or all three of us, to make graphics to put up on here while we're streaming, to like shamelessly plug our personal businesses.
I need to do Moonrock.
Yeah.
I need to come up with a business now. Jeez.
Yeah.
Or
y'all fucking ambitious people.
You can be our accountants, or you can be our accountant.
If you would like to be the official gym sock of the Shimpire.
Oh, we should sell gym sock merch.
We just guys for $250 a month on our Patreon, you can come inside of Yukon.
No, no,
Dude, we should sell. We should.
not true.
We're gonna have gym sock merch, but we're also going to like sell our socks that we've worn.
That we've
for
worn.
a day.
There we
I've got
go.
so many.
Or that we
Have
Yeah.
worn. I think the other one would be like some kind of a assault with a bodily fluid charge or something.
At least
But
half.
hey, if you'd like to be a permanent stain in the gym sock of the Shimpire, go ahead and hit that. Go ahead and hit that follow button. Join the Shimpire.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you.
And it
for
is
a
permanent
session
too.
on
A lot of
official.
people think they can unsubscribe, but we take the same policy as the Catholic Church, where once you've been cummed inside, you're always part of the church.
A
You're
black
always
light
part of
will
the-
always reveal the truth,
Yeah.
even if you shine it in your stomach. With that said,
oh my god.
remember, guys, we're gonna end stream, but y'all stay on for a mo.
Nah.